Oh yeah, here we go. It is in fact Twofold Tuesday, and you know what that means. Time to resume our whimsical and charming adventures. Where did we leave off? Let's see. Thinking about what happened last time. We were really starting to get into, well, we got firmly introduced to the art club in all its glory. And we got introduced to the art club members. The dilemma we're sort of facing here. We obviously have the core problem of Caprice's side of the burgeoning family dilemma. We did take the club to the aquarium, which was a fun little sequence, where we got to meet Charlie, Caprice's mom, from Caprice's point of view. So a bit of a warmer introduction to Charlie, instead of Millie's chilly reception of her potential mother-in-law, or potential stepmother, proper terminology. So, let us check up on our party here. Oh, that's right, we ended off with the really charming morning bus ride with Caprice and Olive, and that was really adorable. You should check out the last episode of this stream. It's had a lot of really adorable, charming moments with Olive and Caprice. But alas, now here we are. The sun hangs outside the out club window as the day draws to a close. Caprice has been a lot more hands-on since her unneeded apology. But today's another one of those days where she's preoccupied, leaving Eileen in charge of closing up the club room. With Wallace gone and Allison over at the campus's ceramics kiln, only Eileen and I occupy the space. Shifting between her own work and checking over mine, she's been more forthcoming with help as of late. Ah, so it's another friendship event.
No, look. Caprice had the same problem. Picture a light bulb floating around your subject. The shadows would be way harsher than this here.
Important lessons on perspective. She takes my notebook and starts doodling a few spheres with her pencil, each with various intestines. That is not the sentence I meant to say. Various intensities of shadows and light positions.
If you want to go strong with your shadows, that's fine, but you need to at least understand how these things interact with each other.
Important lessons.
Right. Sorry.
Don't apologize for something like this. It's a learning process.
Very important point here. Eileen's ability to transition in and out of teacher mode is so effortlessly while keeping her colorful personality in check is honestly impressive. Satisfied that I've probably gotten the gist, she returns to her canvas and resumes her painting. I don't want to bother her again so soon, but there was something she said that caught my ear.
Hey.
What is it now?
You said Caprice has the same issues with this kind of stuff. You mean that thing you and her were working on a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh, right. We are also theorizing that Eileen is the one who actually painted the portrait from Millie's route. The Christmas present from Caprice to Millie. She brushes away at her work.
Has she talked to you about it at all?
Well, no.
Then it's none of your business.
Fair enough. Eileen, true OG. More than willing to keep a secret. We respect that. The words are cold, but the tone isn't. I swear she gets harder to read every time we talk.
She's working through her own issues, same as you. Give her the same respect and personal space as you think you deserve.
Hello, Twin. Hello, Red. What's up this fine evening? It is, in fact... Well, it's an evening of all time, but we have Twofold Tuesday to look forward to. And we have, our girl Eileen. In fact, we ended last stream right before a friend event with Eileen. Eileen being a true pal to Caprice, and giving us a good lesson about personal space. Give her the It's an awfully nice gesture, given it's Eileen talking about Caprice. Eileen is prickly, but Eileen has been proven to care.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
And as curious as we are about what Eileen and Caprice are working on together, it's not our place to pry.
You apologize about nothing more than Allison does.
I thought that one felt necessary, at least.
It's natural to be curious about her, especially given your circumstances.
Huh?
She glances over at me, the corner of her mouth pulling upwards in a small, barely noticeable noticeable smirk. I feel my face grow warm, though I'm not sure why. Oh, she knows. Oh, she knows.
Her being your tutor and all.
Tutor. Internal air quotes.
Right. Yeah, I guess so.
She knows what she's saying.
What's your take on her, anyway? If it's okay to ask.
That smug face, though, right? Yes. She knows exactly what's going on here. This question causes her to stop her painting entirely, mulling over a response for considerably longer than the initial enquiry.
I used to not be able to stand her, genuinely. I don't think we could be further opposites.
That makes sense. Your personalities do very much clash. Like, genuinely, oppositely clash. Not just like Haley and Caprice. Haley kind of being the quiet middle ground. So far, so obvious.
Sometimes it still feels that way, and I just want to throw my hands in the air and walk out mid-conversation. She's exhausting.
I'm surprised you haven't yet.
Yeah, well, I'm a notoriously bad judge of character. Just ask Allison.
Yeah.
Up until meeting you at your work, I had you pegged as a lazy bum trying to get others to dig you out of a hole you rightfully fell into.
I mean...
I don't think that's entirely unfair.
Then you'd be wrong.
Oh? Hearing that from her admittedly feels nicer than I'd expect. I sort of want to ask her to elaborate, but I decide it's better not to press my luck and just be thankful for what I've been given. Just look that gift horse right in the mouth and accept
Anyway,
the
my
kind
point
word.
is, I'm trying to get better at being patient with people. Allison does more than her fair share keeping me grounded.
Hey, that's encouraging. It's hard not to appreciate Eileen's sincerity, especially with how distant she feels a lot of the time. She turns her eyes once more to her easel.
If you talk about this conversation with anyone, I'm telling Caprice you were sticking your nose into her personal business.
And then the Eileen I recognize returns. Unlike before, however, I respond to her with a smile. That's remarkably sweet of her. 1 week later. Actual 2, class of
Cross-hatching, right?
Oh?
Yep. Now what's a fugitive color?
Uh-oh.
A color that changes over time when exposed to various elements.
Right again. Okay, so how about...
Caprice continues to flip through the textbook as we walk the halls to the art room, stopping on random pages without much concern for rhyme or reason. With each pause comes a question. As soon as I answer one, another is already ready to take its place. Today was a quiz day. I didn't do as well as I'd hoped I would, a fact that must have been pretty obvious with how quick Caprice was to console me after class before getting right into her impromptu study session.
And what creature has the thickest fur of all known mammals?
I refuse to believe
Yeah.
you're still pulling questions from that book.
Oh, she knows what she do.
Just seeing if you were paying attention. Okay, now.
Last thing I'd normally want to do after underperforming in a test would be to jump immediately back into this, but something about Caprice's energy makes it bearable. If it weren't for the stress surrounding the situation, you could maybe even call it sort of fun. It takes a special sort of someone to successfully distract from a test by bombarding you with study prep, but Caprice manages to find a way. Nevertheless, one of her questions manages to drag me back to reality.
Who has brown hair, blue eyes, and desperately looks like she needs a nap?
It takes a couple of seconds for me to realize Caprice has stopped walking alongside me. Haley? Yep, Haley. After a quick swivel, I find my tutor smiling wide at her orange-clad friend leaning casually against the wall, all but lost in the crowd of students.
Haley.
Got it in one.
She finishes her greeting with a small yawn and a half-hearted wave.
You look how I feel.
I mean, understandable. Oh. I try to smile as I retrace my last couple of steps to join the two again. It's coming a lot less naturally to me than it was a few minutes ago.
Could have fooled me with how you two were practically skipping through the hall together. Classes have been running me ragged.
Ollie passed the test today.
Her grin is so sincere and tone is so earnest that it almost makes me forget all about the actual score.
Oh, is that so? Congrats, Ollie.
Oh no. There's the despair kicking in. I feel my face grow more red the wider Haley's smirk gets.
Barely passing. It was just a 7 out of 10.
Hey, take it.
Sounds like a pass to me.
It's a win. A win is a win is a win.
That's what I was telling them. As a matter of fact, I've been throwing questions at Olive ever since we got out of class, and they haven't missed a beat this entire time.
They're kicking butt. Breeze grabs my shoulder with her free hand and shaking me with a proud smile across her face. I want nothing more than to disappear while I await another one-liner from Haley, but it never comes.
Glad to hear things have been going well for you, even if you don't think they have. Almost there.
I haven't become numb to Caprice's praise and optimism. If anything, time spent with her has only shown me how sincere all of it is. Even still, hearing her thoughts echoed by someone else strengthens the warmth in my chest.
Thanks.
I feel Caprice's grasp my shoulder tighten for just a moment before she releases me.
You gonna survive the rest of the day, Haley?
If we weren't so close to going home, I don't know if I'd be able to answer that.
Really underrated. Really underrated aspect of both routes so far is the just general budding friendship between Olive and Haley. Love them too. Just vibing quietly together.
Don't fall asleep on me just
Millie!
yet. We've still got a meeting to get through.
Millie sighting. The second surprise guest of the afternoon elicits a grimace out of Haley, and she strolls up, though I'm not entirely positive it's because of the friendly ribbing. Caprice, in contrast, stiffens her back, her smile dampening just a touch.
Millie, hey.
Uh-oh.
Good afternoon, you two. Managing to keep your head above water, Olive?
I already hate being singled out as it is, let alone when I'm transparently being used to deflect attention away from Caprice.
Just barely.
That's such a relief to hear. I've been worried for you.
There's nothing to worry about. I'm gonna pull Ollie across the finish line if it's the last thing I do.
We got it.
I'm sure you will.
Something about how Millie says that feels like a jab, even if the words themselves are completely tame. Mood in the hall shifts. Red rises to Caprice's cheeks as her hands start to curl into fists.
How am I supposed to take that exactly?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
What you just said. You meant something by that, obviously.
I think you're reading into things a little too much.
Yeah,
really?
awkward indeed.
Ollie, what do you think?
Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? Why are you dragging me into this? I don't want to be in... Oh, no. I thought my days of being put in the middle of this were behind me. The cold sweat at the back of my neck starting to irritate. I adjust my collar as Millie turns to me directly.
It felt a little passive-aggressive.
Inviting words.
Alright, I can see that.
I mean, in this instance, yeah, a little bit. We love you, Millie, but possibly not intentional. But she turns to Caprice, closing her eyes tightly before looking at her evenly. I dare to sign relief when the pressure is off me, and had Millie's mature response.
I'll be direct then. You drag people around whether they like it or not. At least it's good for something. That said, Olive, if she's ever being too much, you need to tell her directly. Several times.
Are you really still mad about that? Well, sorry for committing the crime of double checking if you didn't want to go to the dress fitting. Guess I'm just the worst.
Oh no. Oh no.
You asked me 15 times.
Okay, so this is the outcome of Millie not having Olive as a get out of wedding business free card.
Because we kept rescheduling for you.
Although I suppose technically this happened before the two quote-unquote got together.
And you won't take a hint.
I feel a hole in my stomach as they glare at each other, their icy back and forth quickly becoming a full-on argument. I keep finding myself thinking I can help some way or another by speaking up, but every time it backfires. Haley, having sensed the coming storm, tugs at my arm as she worms her way past her friends.
I forgot something in the music room. You free to help carry some stuff?
I glance at Caprice, who doesn't even seem to notice me. I turn back to Haley. After a wordless nod, she lets go of my arm and starts leading me down the hall, never turning back to make sure I'm following behind her.
You scared them away.
It's little wonder they left us what with you all stanced up like that.
The girls are fighting. The girls are fighting.
Never.
The girls are fighting, and Haley just saved our asses. The dull thud, the door to the music room closes. After the hustle and bustle of the crowds right outside, the silence feels especially eerie.
It's quiet.
Ironic, right?
You didn't forget anything in here.
Nope, she just pressed the escape button.
Clever. Even if I did, the actual classroom is locked up back there. I wouldn't be getting it till tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, that's drag people around whether they like it or not. The crime of double checking if you didn't want to come to the dress fitting. Guess it was the worst. You asked me 15 times because we kept rescheduling just for you. This is definitely the Millie without Olive to fall back on. Millie without Olive to fall back on. And Caprice being Caprice on this side of the conflict. She gives a small nod toward the locked door to the side. I was wondering why this place felt so sparse.
So, did you want to talk, or?
Nope, not really. Just thought I'd do you a favor and save you from the worst of it, since I was going to be leaving anyway.
Oh.
I'm still feeling a little shaken at watching those two start it off, but Haley seems totally nonplussed about the issue as she picks a wall to lean on, closing her eyes to focus on her music.
One of them will come around to pick us up for the clubs once they get it out of their system. Make yourself comfortable.
Despite her invitation, I just stand awkwardly in the middle of the room, not quite sure what to do with myself. I debate making my way back to the pair, but leaving Haley here feels inappropriate. Instead, I figure I can at least try to spark up a conversation. Surely it can't blow up in my face again so quickly. Besides, if she doesn't want to talk, she just won't respond. Or that's what I tell myself to justify this as I open my mouth to speak.
Are they like this at home, too?
Her shrug is immediate, so at least I'm not being totally disregarded. Even still, it takes a few moments for her to find the words to respond properly.
It comes and goes. It'll build up to a small shouting match, and Then they'll be mostly okay with each other the day after.
That doesn't sound healthy.
I know. They know too, probably.
But it just keeps happening.
Then why keep going through the cycle? ...
The muffled music from her headphones fades as she finds a way to answer my question. It's not long after that she pulls them from her ears entirely, placing them around her neck, once again with a small sigh.
Because they don't really have any other choice, their situation being what it is.
Haley's tone is deadpan at the best of times, but it's hard not to notice the tinge of sadness to her now.
You look how I feel.
It took her making a joke out of it for me to notice my own frown. It's one I've worn several times before about this same exact subject. Originally it was because their argument made things messy and complicated when all I wanted was some help. Now though...
Are you going to tell me what it is?
If Caprice hasn't told you, you know I can't. Girl code.
Girl code. Yeah. We already had Eileen shut us down, so...
You just have to believe me when I say they can't really change what's going on. Even if they could, it'd only make things worse.
Based on our past experience, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
From an outside perspective, it just sounds like you've given up on things getting better.
Also not incorrect.
It's not like I haven't tried. I wouldn't be sharing a room with Heather 2 days a week by choice.
Heather.
I don't think it'd help Millie out.
Haley sneers as Heather's name leaves her lips, adding emphasis to her already crystal clear point. My head hurts a bit from all this secrecy, but one thing is pretty clear. They're still living together. They're still trying. So...
If they're both willing to try to reconcile most days, they'll be able to figure it out eventually, right? Vague and cryptic situations or not.
Only after getting a look at the faint hint of surprise on Haley's face that I paused and stopped myself, not realizing how far I pushed myself out of my comfort zone until I was already well outside of its boundaries.
That almost sounded optimistic. Where do you pick that habit up?
We know the answer to that question, but I can't find myself to say her name out loud. All I can do is avert my eyes and scratch at my cheek. Haley seems to take that as sufficient response as a cat-like grin spreads on her face. I'm not sure if that makes things better or worse.
Don't know.
Everybody knows we're starting to crush on Caprice a little bit.
Well, it suits you.
Worse. Definitely worse. Definitely worse. Hey! Before we can stew in the awkwardness for too long, the door opens behind us. In its frame stands Caprice, looking like a deer caught in the headlights as Haley and I turn to her.
You two are still here. Good. Olive, you ready to head over to the club?
She sounds so tired. So very tired. There's little energy in her voice as she gets the words out. I find myself wishing she called me Ollie.
Sure. Is everything okay?
Huh? Oh, yeah. We worked it all out. Just a bad misunderstanding in the end. No need to worry about us. We gotta focus on you.
As soon as she's called out, she's quick to throw her mask back on, her tone springing back to life and a smile spreading across her face. She's given me this expression so many times before, and it almost always feels sincere, but not this time. I joined her by the door, turning to look at Haley once I'm at Caprice's side.
You gonna be good?
Yeah, I'll start heading over to the writing room in a sec. You two go on ahead.
Okay. Have fun over there. Tell Millie I said hi.
You said hi to her not even 20 minutes ago.
You said a
Yeah, well, I think she appreciates it more when it comes from you.
Her smile doesn't waver, but her tone definitely does. One look at Haley's face tells me we're on the same page.
All right. See you.
With that, Caprice ushers me out of the door and closes it behind us, leaving Haley alone in the room. Oh, later that day. After club? Caprice has written on the whiteboard, Big Final Project!
Listen, this is make or break. Your big moment.
This'll be the moment. Starting, this will be the moment. Starting now. The genesis of Olive. Energy she's putting on display now, it's hard not to see it as at least partially forced, given the circumstances. Ooh, the whole gang's here. Maybe I'm just overthinking it now, since the others haven't seemed to notice. Or if they have, they haven't said anything about it. Oh, it's the first time I get to see everyone's winter gear. You saw Eileen's sweater. They all have really simple but charming winter outfits. Most of the club is gathered around for the discussion. I have the same feeling I get from mock meetings in my intro to business class.
They're going to make sure Olive makes the best piece they can make and ace the class.
Oh boy.
I don't think we should make the big moment just about me.
In truth, I'm not even sure if it's necessary at this point. I've done everything I can to pad my grade before the final to varying degrees of success. All that's really left is to put pen to paper. Seeing Caprice so enthusiastic about this is enough reason for me to let this play out, though. Even if she's forcing it a little. Olive's combo is still the best. Yes. That is very much correct. Even if she's forcing it a little, seeing her back in her element comes as a relief.
Every moment is a big moment. Next question.
I'm honestly a fan of Eileen's sweater, though. I don't know, I'm always down for a nice, like brown, olive green, that color scheme. So it's like, well, I'm always down for that. Next question. Allison raises her hand. A strange concept in this club.
Well, I was thinking. I'm not sure what you've covered in art class, but since Olive has been mostly learning with pencil, I think doing something with graphite or charcoal would be best.
Alright, very good.
Ooh, Allie's already taking initiative with ideas. I like to hear it.
She writes pencil and a bullet point on the board, grinning as she underlines it a few times. Yes, very good. Very good notes.
Sticking with what you know is probably your best bet, yeah. That still leaves the matter of what you're actually going to be drawing.
You're getting in on this too? Alright.
We'll figure it out together.
I can't believe we're having a group.
I can help bounce some ideas around, sure.
Even Wallace is invested.
So let's
Thanks, bro.
discuss this. Olive, what is it you want to do?
Now, if Olive sticks with the idea they were thinking of at the end of last stream, this is going to be embarrassing to admit in front of the club.
I don't actually know.
I've known for a while, at least the broad strokes. It's not something I really want to talk about, though.
You've had all semester to think of something.
The regret I'm feeling over not trying to de-escalate this meeting at the start continues to grow by the second.
I'm aware.
It's okay. Why don't you take some time to think about it? We don't have to decide on anything today.
Caprice sighs with a flourish, then adds a second bullet point. Subject TBD.
Fine. But let's discuss the other topic. Historical influences.
Oh boy. I'm glad we're off that line of questioning, even if this new one fills me with a different kind of dread.
I barely know anything about that stuff. You saw how I did on my quiz.
Hey, 7 out of 10. Not bad.
You're back on that again? You did fine. You passed. That means you know some things.
You know some of the things. That's what matters here. Some of the things.
How did you do on your quiz?
Oh no.
70%.
Which is a C. Better than passing.
There are some things you just can't force optimism about.
Okay. Wallace, take out your laptop.
Oh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Don't
ma'am.
call me that.
Whether unable to come up with a retort quick enough or just content to leave the conversation there, Wallace quietly nods and begins to do as he was asked.
We're going to cram as much of this stuff into your skull as we can today. Apply it to your project later.
Uh-oh, alright. Despite her choice of words, her actual tone is more like a high school teacher's. Yes, ma'am. I'm honestly not sure how much of the stuff we talked about today will help with my final, though I did pick up bits and pieces that I'd like to look into. More than anything, the company is what I appreciated the most. It's been a long semester, but these 4 have made it go by a lot faster. I still feel like an outsider most of the time, and their personalities definitely seem to clash in a lot of ways, but I can't say it hasn't been fun. This will be the last meeting before I turn in my final, and I feel like I've let them down if I don't pull through after the help they've given me. One path forward now. After what feels like a long hour of circular discussion, people start packing their things and saying their goodbyes for the day, leaving Caprice and I alone together. As is the norm, she only begins packing her things away once the rest of the club is out the door. But this time she stops herself after shoving a few stray pieces of paper away.
Ollie,
Oh?
What's up?
are you working tonight by any chance?
Oh? I thought I couldn't feel any more nervous than I am about my final, but Caprice once again makes the impossible possible.
No, I have the night free. Why?
The building's open all evening for night classes, so we can leave whenever. Do you want to study or go over your final a bit more, maybe?
Time for my brain to go into maximum overdrive. Oh? I find myself at a crossroads. Honestly speaking, after the last few hours, I don't know if I'm mentally capable of enduring any more academics for the day. On the other hand, well, that's smile, though. I could think of worse ways to spend my evening. I'm not sure if there's an obvious tell on my face, or if my pause lasted just a moment too long. But when I turned my focus back to Caprice, she looks unusually panicked.
Never mind. I know you're busy and it's been a long day. Of course you don't want to be quizzed anymore today. You should go home and...
Okay, it was just a pause. Good. Great.
No, I was just thinking about how nervous I was about things still, and how some extra studying would be good. I'll take up your offer, assuming it's still open.
It's open.
Yes! Well, oh! Needing no further affirmation, she joins me in sitting at the edge of the table. Reaches behind her to grab my textbook, poring over its contents.
I appreciate you doing this.
Her eyes, once again wide as they could be, as she furiously skimmed through the pages, closed slightly.
I haven't been doing enough. I'm just trying to make up for lost time is all.
You're doing your best. You remember her apologizing for this before. Is it still bugging her that much? Maybe she's picked up some bad habits from me. Oh, all I can do is sigh.
You've helped a lot.
I promised you more than a lot.
She reaches across me and grabs a piece of paper and a pencil, jotting down questions as she continues to protest my assurances.
I'm sorry for being so negative about the class all the time. I know I've been doing fine. It's just easier to see the glass as half empty, I guess.
I know. That's why I'm so confident in you, and why I feel so bad.
Oh no. I want her to elaborate so badly, but for whatever reason, I just can't bring myself to ask her outright. Thankfully, she seems to get the picture as she pulls her eyes up away from the text to face me.
You shouldn't have to feel so stressed out about this. I just feel like if I did more... I don't know, if I didn't push you on to the rest of the club as often as I did, you wouldn't be so worried.
Is she picking up bad habits from us, or is this just what she covers up with her endless, boundless energy?
Maybe you'd have done better on the quiz, and maybe not. But I wanted you to feel prepared going into this with me, and I didn't follow through.
That's not...
But the fact that you feel like your back is against the corner, that you feel hopeless, as awful as that is, the fact that you're still doing everything you can to rise above it is amazing. When it feels like there's nowhere for you to go, it's so easy to feel like giving up and letting whatever happens happen. I can speak from experience there, a lot more than usual lately, actually.
A lot more than usual lately. She lightly taps the pencil on the desk as her eyes drift downward for a moment, before darting back up.
But you never let that happen. Heck, you've technically got more time logged in the club this semester than I do. That's sort of embarrassing. You're more reliable than I am.
Aw. She chuckles a bit as she brushes some hair out of her eyes. This feels like the best time to respond, but I'm left totally speechless. Still, I'm desperate to not leave an awkward pause hanging in the air, so I grab at the first thought that comes to mind.
It was only ever like that because I didn't want to let people down. Mom, you... I don't think I'd have the willpower to go on if it was just personal motivation.
That's okay. There's no shame in relying on the people who love you, even if it's just as motivation in the back of your mind. The point is that you got here in the end.
Indeed. She smiles her usual smile, and I'm quick to return it. Suddenly, however, Caprice shifts her eyes back to the book and the paper she'd been scribbling on, her body visibly tensing up.
I meant loved ones. Like, you know, your mom and stuff.
Oh. That's a correction. As cold as the weather has been getting lately, it pales in comparison to the feel of the shiver going down my spine.
Yeah, don't worry. I got what you meant.
Anyway, question 1.
Oh. Flustered Caprice. Very cute. Ooh. Pretty sunset. Purple clouds shade the sky, outlined by the low-flying sun. I stand waiting for the trolley, grocery bags in hand, ready to head home for a dinner with Mom. I've got to work on my final tomorrow, but this is a rare night where both Mom and I are free and we want to make the most of it. My ride eventually rolls into view, as do a couple of familiar faces.
Ollie!
Caprice! There's my riding buddy. It's unusual to run into her at this hour, though. Mischief is sitting next to her, giving a small wave in stark contrast to her daughter's wild, sweeping gestures. As I approach them, Caprice pats the seat next to her with a flailing arm.
Sit down!
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, family gathering. Yeah.
Hello, Olive. Or is it Ollie now?
Uh-oh. Mom knows.
Good evening, ma'am. Olive is fine.
Okay, Olive. But please, call me Charlie.
Alright.
She comes across as kind and sincere. I don't think I'll ever really be comfortable being on a first-name basis with her. A feeling I'm sure is coming through with how instinctively I avoid her gaze.
Don't bully them.
Is this bullying? I can feel myself sinking into my seat. Charlie laughs.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Caprice talks about you all the time. I already feel like I know so much about you.
Oh. She does? This is the second time that she's mentioned something like that. Considering we've only met twice.
No worries. It's nice to see you again.
Likewise.
Can I just say how precious it is that immediately we sit down, Caprice just shifts right toward us. It's just cute. I turn to Caprice to answer the question that's becoming more and more invasive every millisecond that passes by.
You talk about me? Or?
Of course. I tell Mom everything.
She answers that so earnestly.
I know all about the art club's adventures. She has a new story for me every few days.
Oh. She puts a point on that sentence with a gentle smile that reminds me of my own mom's. I guess it's just a thing they're all able to do. The peak mom energy.
She's told me about your situation. I'm rooting for you too.
Oh, thanks.
Oh. These two must share everything with each other. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. Caprice is the type to talk anyone's head off, and she must have gotten that from somewhere. Really close with my own mom, but the relationship these two have just feels entirely different.
There's no way they're going to fail after how much the club has helped.
There was a time I would have protested this, but I know how much she means it. That, and I actually find myself agreeing.
Yeah, I really would have been lost without you guys.
Oh, well, you know, you couldn't have done it without yourself either.
The words stumble out of Caprice's mouth in a rare moment of bashfulness. Wanting out of this conversation as quickly as possible, she turns back to her mom instead. Someone's getting flustered.
Ollie isn't giving themselves enough credit. We wouldn't have made it this far if they weren't willing and determined.
Yeah, Ollie.
So I've heard. Several times.
What did I just say about bullying them?
Charlie looks to me, raising her hand in a half-hearted wave.
I'm sorry, Olive. You weren't the intended target there.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm going to die.
I'm glad to hear things are working out. All I hear from Caprice these days is all of this, all of that. How's their progress going? Whether they'll pass their final.
Charlie is bullying her daughter.
You and I are lucky to have her, huh?
Jeez, Mom.
Yep, Charlie is bullying her daughter. We love to see it. That's precious. Caprice quickly averts her eyes from her mom and onto me, only to dart them away again when she realizes I'm looking at her. The only option left is being to stare awkwardly at the other side of the car.
You sure are, though. Especially you, Ollie.
Having collected herself, she points at me, finger once again so needlessly close to my face. I can't bring myself to even pretend to be annoyed.
So where are you headed, Olive?
Home, if I can help it.
Us too. We were shopping.
Heck yeah. They have some bags around them, too. And also takeout boxes, probably full of leftovers from some restaurant.
So was I. Needed to pick up some things for dinner. My mom's over at my apartment.
Oh, how nice. Pass on a greeting from me, won't you? And from me.
Aw.
Got it.
The shift and say hi. We spend the rest of the ride chatting. I almost missed my stop. Understandable.
See you soon. Don't forget to do your best on your final. Don't hesitate to ask me for help.
Bye, Olive. Take care.
I will. Have a nice rest of your night, you two.
Aw. I do love them. As soon as I open the door to my apartment, I'm assaulted by the sounds of bubbling water and savory spices.
Hey, I
I'm
thought I
excited.
said not to start cooking without me.
Yeah.
You cooked for me last time. I'm cooking this time. Plus, it had to get started soon. This isn't a quick meal.
Well, you're gonna need these.
I hold open the bag I bought, full of veggies and potatoes.
Good. It's almost time to start throwing them into the pot. Help with the peeling, won't you?
I free myself from my heavy jacket as quick as I'm able, before taking my place beside her at the cutting board, placing the bag of veggies between us.
So, how's your project coming along?
Yeah, Ollie. She's quick to pull a couple of carrots from the bag to begin her work. I grab as many potatoes as I can for myself, if for no other reason than to try and minimize the amount she has to deal with.
I haven't actually
Oh,
started
Ollie.
yet.
But?
I'm picking up the supplies tomorrow.
Oh?
That's good. Do you know what you're gonna do for it yet?
After a lot of talk with Caprice and the club,
I look over at my plant roommate sitting on the windowsill as always.
I've got something in mind. Maybe.
I'm really glad to hear that. Just a few months ago, you were so unsure about all this.
I'm still unsure. Just a little less than normal now.
Slightly less unsure.
Well, I'm sure you've got nothing to worry about. It sounds like your friends are doing everything they can for you.
Yeah, I've heard that enough times from Caprice already.
And you're finally starting to believe it, right?
Right?
Maybe a little.
Yeah, it's starting to wear off on you. She nods as she drops her chopped carrots into the pot before reaching back into the bag.
Speaking of which, I saw her on the trolley with her mom. They say hello.
I'd love to meet her again someday. Her mom, too.
It'd be nice to make that happen. We could invite them over sometime after the semester.
Oh, I hope we get to do that. It takes me a moment to realize she stopped her chopping as I finish up dicing the potatoes. I look to her, worried she may have cut herself or something, but all I find on her face is a smile.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Are the potatoes ready?
Oh, she knows. She knows.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's not a thing that Ollie says lightly. After moving the knives away, she lifts up the entirety of the cutting board, pushing all the cut veggies off of it into the pot before giving it a good stir.
I was just thinking about how funny the situation turned out.
I'm struggling to find the humor here.
It's always been so hard to get a smile out of you growing up. As hard as I tried. I treasured each and every one I managed to earn.
Even Mom knows about your not-so-hidden crush. Yep, even Mom can see it. Mom knows what's up. Moms know these things. You ain't hiding. Also, nice vegetables. I hope she gets to the comedic part of this observation soon. I'm not sure if my heart can sink any lower.
You wear it so naturally now, though.
Ouchies.
Regardless of what happens with your finals, I really think this past semester may have been one of the best things to ever happen to you.
She finishes her stirring, turning the heat on the stove down as she places a lid over the pot.
Personally speaking, I think the irony is very silly.
With all the stress and anxiety surrounding it, I want to refute it so much. But in a few days, one way or another, these worries are going to be gone. Or at the very least, they won't matter anymore. Where will that leave me then?
Maybe I'll appreciate the joke more later.
It'll grow on you, I'm sure.
As casually as ever, she passes by me to get to the sink and turns the hot water on, washing her hands after doing the bulk of the cooking tonight.
So, tell me more about
Oh.
her. Caprice?
Oh, she's starting it. There's a lot I haven't really mentioned her. Just never thought it was important to say. Now I'm not even sure where to begin.
Did I ever tell you her mom works at the aquarium?
Really? What does she do?
She's one of those presenters who talk about the animals.
I tell Mom about the aquarium and Caprice's love of sea life. How she's already making plans for another visit. Even when she isn't physically present, Caprice ends up being the center of attention as I recount our time together over the past semester. From there, I tell her other tales of our little art club. She shares more stories from work and her own life. It's a warm winter evening. The next day. The next night? The next night. Last night I went to sleep right around 3 a.m., clinging to the hope that if I never actually slept, then tomorrow somehow wouldn't arrive. Time has betrayed me once again. Tomorrow is now today, and today's mostly gone. Majority of it was spent at work, the stress being the only thing keeping me from entering a vegetative state my entire shift. After that, I immediately went out and bought everything I needed. I've settled on using some higher quality colored pencils. Also picked up a backing board trimmed to the size specified for the assignment. An oddly specific brand of glue as per the professor's instructions. All that's left to sit down and do it, I guess. Take a seat at my desk chair, placing the bag of various art supplies down on the floor as gently as I can, knowing they're the most important thing I own at this moment. I bought some extras of everything just in case, but that doesn't ease my worrying at all. Move my keyboard to the side, leaving ample room for my pencil set and paper. Everything's ready to go now. Just gotta start. I had the image in my head for a long time, but now that the time is here, I'm finding it impossible to put it to paper. Even getting the basic sketch down is proving to be too large of a mental hurdle. Is this paralysis stemming from the fear of failing? The fear of letting the people around me down? Just being unsure if I can do it justice? With a deep sigh, I stand up and drag myself to my nightstand, where I had left my phone on silent. I deliberately made sure it wasn't in reaching distance to avoid distractions, but maybe a distraction is what I need. She said to let her know if I needed help with it. Does this count? I'm not really sure what she could actually do for me right now, but I'm hoping just talking with someone as I work things out will help. I tap Caprice's name in my contacts and make my way back to my desk as it begins ringing.
Ollie, sup?
Oh!
Hey, just working on my final.
Please be hotter! Oh my god, that's a Please Be Happy reference, isn't it? Studio Elan. That's a Otterbeho, main character of that game, who's a fox girl. We have ideas. And Caprice drinking a nice bottle of drink.
Oh, me too, actually. We can have a sort of long-distance club meeting.
Yeah, that's more or less what I was hoping for.
So how far in have you gotten?
It is firmly in my head.
This
Ollie, you do have something in mind, right?
Disappointment in her voice is like an arrow through the heart.
Yeah, of course. It's just hard for me to get started for some reason.
Fine.
Fine?
It's quickly pivoted from disappointment to faux frustration. Even after all this time, I still have no idea how she manages it so effortlessly.
I've set my pen down, and I'm not picking it back up till you get moving. If you don't get started, I'm gonna fail.
Uh-oh. Her fate is in your hands, Ollie.
It's not like I wasn't gonna do it.
My fate is in your hands.
Yeah, she said the thing. I put her on speaker and placed the phone to the side, both my hands free to start working on my project properly. This is one of those things that you know she'd be more than willing to follow through with. I decided it's a good enough reason to at least get to the sketching stage as I take out a normal pencil and start mapping out how I want to fill in the paper.
You've successfully twisted my arm.
This is a really pretty CG, but also Just a really pretty olive here.
Good. What kind of medium are you sticking with anyway?
I decided on colored pencils. Like everyone said, I should probably stick with what I know, but I thought colors may help things. Same basic idea, right?
Yeah. So long as it's what works for you.
What about you? I know I've been avoiding this subject, but I don't think you've really been bringing your final up much either.
Oh, I'm trying digital this time. Wallace is letting me borrow one of his older tablets.
Aha. Yep, she's got that going there. Just like her to take a final project for a college class and use it as an excuse to try something entirely new.
Is this the thing you were asking Eileen for thoughts for a while ago? You said back then it was your final.
Uh-oh. Know the answer, of course, but I'm curious if she's willing to confirm it.
No. That was something different. Doesn't matter much.
Yeah, that was indeed something
Fair
different.
enough. I was just wondering at the time what someone like you could ever need a second opinion on.
Let's not
Making fun of
pry.
me again.
A little bit, okay.
Maybe a little.
We sit in silence for a while, both of us chipping away at our projects. I moved past the sketching stage, relatively happy with what I've landed on, and have started sorting through my assortment of pencils, using a piece of scratch paper to compare the colors before committing. The silence persists, small two-sentence conversations peppered out here and there, but neither of us make excuses to end the call. I can hear her tap and swoosh the pen occasionally on her tablet. I'm sure she can hear me shuffling things about as I try and sort stuff around. Being able to quietly enjoy each other's company like this feels as bizarre as it does pleasant. Sitting here in mostly silence, content with the knowledge that there's someone on the other side of it who's eager to listen, and the off chance you do have something to say. I guess nowadays just the idea of Caprice being there is enough of an inspiration. Not that I don't appreciate her attempts at feel-good speeches.
Done.
Huh?
I just finished my final project, I think.
What? Send me a picture! Hurry, hurry, hurry!
You're turning yours in tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, but...
We should show them to each other on campus then. Can be more of an event that way, or something.
Oh, Olive's definitely involves Caprice to some degree. In truth, I'm still sort of embarrassed to show it off, but I'm hoping a night of sleep will be enough time to calm the nerves enough.
Are you that confident it'll be okay? You sure you don't want my opinion ahead of time?
Yeah, I think it'll work out.
Okay, tomorrow it is then. I'll wrap this up and take it to the shop for printing before they close so I can catch you on the trolley in the morning.
Don't rush yourself for something like that.
It'll be fine. We're riding buddies, it's important.
That's right, writing buddy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, see you tomorrow then. Thanks for hanging out, Ollie.
I've still got some tests to handle tomorrow, but with this project done, my shoulders feel infinitely lighter. True to her word for the start of the semester, she was here to see me through to the end. I hope things turn out okay. Right now, even more than actually passing, I want nothing more than to join her again for another semester. To simply be her friend. Without all the baggage I brought with me this year, to thank her and the rest of the club properly for everything they've done. That gentle smile, it's just so good. I love it. Olive has that confident breeze going on. I love how naturally that develops for them. They had this in them the whole time. Not sure if the last thing's even possible with words alone, let alone here over the phone. Nevertheless, I could at least leave her with something for now. Friend, yeah.
Thank you too. Good night, Caprice.
Oh. There's something really wholesome about that thought we just had there.
Okay, time for the reveal. On 3. 1,
Oh well.
2...
Oh well. Alright, we're jumping right into it. Just that thought of someone with her energy, but just being there together in this moment. Existing quietly together, but being more than willing to listen and talk. When we met on the trolley, I had finally worked up the willpower to show her the fruits of my labor. She insisted we wait until we could get to the art room, though. playing off my suggestion of making it feel more like a special thing. The ride at campus was one agonizingly slow and way too quick, both meshing awkwardly together in an impossible to describe mess of anxiety. When we arrived, she then insisted on waiting until everyone else had left to hang up our art so they could be right next to each other. Now we're here, counting down the slowest 3 seconds of my life.
3!
She flips her canvas and rests it upright on the table in front of her. For my own, propping it up the same way. Ooh, Caprice's final is very much her. A storm of different colors and ideas, all fighting for attention as they push in various directions. Wait, is that us too? One part catches my eye immediately, though. A small splash of green that makes my heart jump into my throat. Oh my god, do we have the same idea? Do we have the same idea? If we are together. Maybe I'm being optimistic, but it's not subtle, right? Oh? Oh! Oh, there it is! On the subject of subtlety, it's not like mine is especially vague either. Or at least I don't think it is. Yeah, cactus, prickly olive, and, a hand, that's... yeah. The red on Caprice's face, which undoubtedly matches my own, definitely seems to confirm that.
Wow.
It's not as good as I wanted it to be.
Ollie, look at it. You made this.
Takes the drawing from my hands and flips it back around for me to examine.
Remember when we started? You didn't think you could handle something even half as good as this.
In many ways, I still don't think I can.
Look at how far you've come. Heck, look at how far we've both come.
She proudly taps her creation, clearly a lot less embarrassed by it than I am of mine.
You're already a great artist at the start.
Well, I'm even better now, and I'll be even better tomorrow.
Oh, she adjusts her cap slightly, tipping the brim of the hat up more to meet my eyes directly with a broad smile and sparkling eyes.
And you will too.
Gives me a thumbs up in the most earnest way. I avert eye contact, only to be met by the art on the wall once more.
I don't know. I think I need a break from all this art stuff after this.
Best add girl to that friend now, Olive. These pics showing something. There's a feelings there. Punctuate the statement with a dramatic sigh and slumping of the shoulders. I meant to make it come off as an obvious joke, but I wonder if my reaction is all that out of the ordinary.
What? Come on, you don't mean that.
I wonder.
My intentions weren't obvious before. I can at least be confident they are now. Caprice responding with a chuckle.
We'd better get to class before we're late.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Scrambles to grab her canvas and we make our way to class one last time. Aw, they both incorporated each other into there. It's wholesome. Yeah, pizza time. With everything behind us, the art club is having its last meeting of the semester at the pizza place we use for special occasions.
And after this begins our winter semester meetings.
Oh, that's right.
I knew it.
Hey, I'm not taking any winter classes.
I don't think anyone is, right?
It doesn't matter. Classes or not, the club never sleeps. Today is a celebration day, though. We made it through.
Right, made it through. I checked my phone. It must be the 12th time today.
Ollie!
The page is loading.
Ollie, stop looking at your phone.
I'm just trying to see my grades.
My other classes I'm reasonably confident in, but the art final is my last big stressor. The professor said the grades would be posted relatively quickly. I'm not sure if expecting a turnaround in under a day is reasonable, but it doesn't stop me from checking every few seconds anyways.
I know, but it's not there yet. No point in stressing out about it.
Stressing out? No kidding. I've been stressing out about this moment for the past few months. Pretty much all I've ever been stressing out about.
I've been trying to check my grades too.
Allison, like me, has been thumbing at her phone all meeting. Somehow I think she has less to worry about than I do.
They probably won't go up until the evening, and that's assuming it'll even be today.
Caprice is my aunt now. Bro, you're never gonna get your grades back in a day. You're right, but also, it's still a relatable feeling. Just... we need that closure on the semester. We need that answer.
Do you know what time?
That depends on the professor.
Yeah, that's the big
How about you wait until tonight to check anyway? Have a fun day with your club and look later.
There's no way I can just forget about it.
Let's talk about something else for now.
Like what?
A brochure slaps down on the table. Eileen reaches out to turn it with her hand, and we all lean over to look at it. Ah, it's for the aquarium, advertising holiday light decorations.
Oh no.
Isn't it about time we went again? Look at the decorations, the theming!
Ollie's such a worry wart. Yeah.
Oh, pretty.
Isn't it?
It's something you've seen 100 times over already, I'm sure.
Oh no. While Eileen and Wallace protest, Allison is effectively distracted from her phone for the moment, her eyes shining alongside Caprice's. Planning another aquarium outing doesn't sound like the worst idea right now. Maybe I'll look over some of the pamphlets after checking the phone one more time.
Just give it some thought. There's even special pricing.
Oh no. Caprice is busy shoving the brochure into Eileen's hand as she tries to break away from the group.
Sure. See you later.
He starts to leave, but stops when she notices Allison isn't following. The grades still haven't been posted.
We can hover around the site at home.
Okay.
Hey, best of luck.
Wallace gives me a rather strong pat on the shoulder, surprisingly not making me fold over like the napkin. I offer a weak nod in return.
You too.
Oh, I'm relaxed about this.
Oh, I've got this, but I've... we look over at the girls. Allison clutches Caprice's hands.
I'll text you.
Right when you get home. You definitely aced everything.
Yes.
Well, take care. I gotta get to work.
See you.
Later, Olive.
Bye.
Later, pals. They've really come along. Rough Wallace swag. They've really come a long way. Just about us being in the group. Three of them wave and depart in the same general direction. I send them off with a wave of my own. As for myself, I have no other obligations today, besides this waiting around to see if everyone's efforts weren't in vain. Wonder if Caprice is the same.
Hey, Ollie?
Yeah?
Wanna walk around for a bit?
Do I? Asked and answered. I glance at the weather outside, but it's not like it would have changed my answer anyway.
Sure. That sounds good.
The snow's been consistent, coating the city in an even layer of perfect white, though it seems to have calmed down a bit. Still, it's cold and wet, and Caprice and I joined the rest of the people bundled up in their heavy coats. Lights and decorations have already begun to adorn the cityscape. The beauty of it all makes the cold worth it. I feel a pressuring urge to bring up our final projects, both of them weighing heavily on my mind. As stressful as it is wondering if I have a future in university, it's paled in comparison to wondering if I'm overthinking this morning. Worse yet, maybe I'm seeing something I want to see, if I'll be disappointed if she tells me it didn't mean anything.
I've been thinking of buying some new kitchen stuff.
Oh! I look up from checking my phone at the time. A small distraction.
Huh? You?
She pouts in my direction. It's cute. Finally, you're admitting it, Olive.
Mom's been talking about how she wants a new pan, so I've been looking around for a decent one.
Ah, I see.
I give a nod. Like, everything makes sense now. Caprice puffs up, putting her hands on her hips and tilting her head at me.
And if I'm ever going to learn how to cook myself, I'm going to need some stuff too, right?
Right. I laugh a little, nodding. She's so sincere, like always, and I drop the slight teasing despite her playing along.
Right. Sorry. Well, why don't we take a look?
Pleased that she successfully convinced me, Caprice walks into step with me, following my lead. We find our way to a store selling kitchenware and utensils. God, they've really become just naturally... Just love how that... I just love them. The two pans Caprice bought clank about in her shopping bag as we walk through the cool city streets again. Not the most exciting place to visit. Still, we spent an exorbitantly long time admiring random kitchen gadgets and cute tableware that by the time we leave, it's nearly dark out.
Can you teach me to cook?
Ooh!
You want me to?
I think it's only fair, right? After all I did for you this semester.
Well, I'm not sure I'm qualified.
Not even trying to be cheeky. I've never really tutored anyone in anything.
Obviously you are. You do it for a living.
Well, yes, but
Nuh-uh. That should have ended at the yes.
A part of me wondered why Caprice never came across as pushy. As she gives me a stern look that immediately dissolves into a grin, I'm once again confident that it's because her positivity is coming from her heart. It also feels intentional. She wants the best for everyone around her, and whenever she sees a glimmer of hope in someone, she puts her everything into bringing it to the surface.
You're going to teach me to cook. The decision's final.
Yes, ma'am. I guess it wouldn't hurt. Could at the very least prevent her from accidentally destroying her apartment. So that's how this is going to continue.
fine. As thanks for all the help.
So that's how this is going to continue into Act 2. I like this.
Great. Come on.
She begins to jog ahead, bag bouncing behind her in her hand.
Hey, be careful.
To be honest, the thought sounds more and more interesting as I think of it. She stops and spins to look at me, somehow avoiding slipping.
I'm glad. I really liked the food you made for us a while back. You did a wonderful job, you know?
When did I last hear something like that? I feel my heart flutter a bit.
So I'd love to get together and have you make something again. And maybe steal your skills for myself.
Your skills are mine. Shang Tsung style. She tightly grabs my hand in between hers. They're surprisingly warm.
I thought your project was amazing, too. You don't need to worry.
They have to draw, now they have to act too. And cook? Iron Chef Olive?
Thanks.
Exactly. I think I'm starting to warm a little.
I wanted to help you. And I was kidding about owing me. You joining the club was more than enough. I was happy about that. So, you know...
Oh. What? Oh no. A little tune starts to play. Caprice jumps, letting go of my hand and quickly rummaging through every single pocket until she finds her phone. Uh-oh. She gives me a tiny apologetic look and answers it, turning away slightly. Oh no, we were having a moment there.
Allie! Hi!
Oh? Though small, I can hear the excited voice of Allison on the other side.
I did it! 4.0.
Wow! That's amazing! I knew you would do great. Congrats!
Allison's GPA, her being worried about a 4.0 really does show how different we are, huh? Wait, if she has hers then. Grab my phone to refresh the page, still up where I left it. I'd nearly forgotten. Caprice spots me looking at my phone and focuses her attention back on me. Allison's still on the other line. She quickly presses the speaker button.
Ollie! Is it in for you too? Is it?
A second of silence passes until the grades loads in. Survey says 85!
I passed!
Yes! Pushes tight against my side to peer over my shoulder at the screen. She's still holding a phone against her ear.
Within 85%!
Yes!
Congrats, Olive.
Oh, hi, Elan.
You did it! You passed! They passed!
Oh! Happily, Caprice wraps her arms around me. With the phone no longer near her face, I don't know if she can hear the little sounds of Alice and Eileen happily congratulating. I feel the weight of the past couple of years float away, and in its place is only the weight of Caprice against me.
Good job, Olive!
You did it! Oh. Yes! The sun melts into the sky as it begins to set, its hot, vivid colors contrasting the shades of blue and white sprinkled across the ground. The bag is filled to the brim with books. I'm on my way to sell them at a fraction of the cost I paid for them. The bliss of being rid of them will make up for the sunk cost, I'm sure. It's still a little surreal, after stressing about it for so long. Wasn't even sure I'd make it through the semester, let alone successfully. Now I'm only a short time away from collecting my associate's degree. Where am I going next? I don't actually know. I still have a semester to think it over. It's about time to look at universities or jobs to apply to. Time doesn't stop just because you hit a milestone. I wouldn't be here without Caprice and the art club. What about that? What happens with them next? Caprice said she wants to continue meetings through the winter break, but... Despite my reservations about whether or not I fitted with a group of artists, I've come to look forward to being with them. I owe it mostly to the club's atmosphere. As much as art is the theme of its meetings, the heart of it is friendship. I hope they've warmed up to me, too. Caprice especially. Caprice especially. I think she has. Let's be real. I think she has. Despite the stress, the days spent with her this past semester stick out vividly as happy memories, each and every one. Hell, even Eileen's warmed up to you. The club was part of that for sure, but there's more to it than that. Like, Eileen has genuinely warmed up to you. Not even just because Allison is her rounding voice. Whenever I boarded the trolley and she wasn't there, I felt a little disappointed. When she was, my heart flipped just a tiny bit. We talked about bringing our books back today, but we didn't plan on going together. The trolley starts to pull up, and I find myself hoping that I see her as it comes into view.
Ollie!
And there she is! Instant smile. We love to see it. Yeah!
Hey, writing buddy.
Campus business, buddy. I've got some club paperwork to take care of. They'll recognize us officially next semester for sure.
Yes! I proudly tap my backpack.
I'm returning books. Good riddance.
You made it through. Congrats on passing.
He throws her hands up in an adorably exaggerated cheer. Yay!
Thanks, but you already said that.
You wish and fate gave, indeed.
I know, but twice won't hurt. Or 3 times.
We'll keep saying it. We'll keep saying it. Her arms go up and down and again to emphasize each exclamation. We gotta give it some wahoo rats. I'll just be when I'm sitting comfortably. Yes, honestly. We gotta give them some wahoo rats.
Thank you, thank you.
What's next for you?
She's asked this before, and I'm still not quite sure how to answer. For a while, I wasn't even sure if there'd be a next step after this semester, so I honestly hadn't been committing much brain power to it.
I don't know.
Will you still come to club meetings?
It's the most adorable thing about these scenes is how she just slides in like that. Expression eager, she leans in closer to me. I try not to lean away. I at least know what my short-term plans are.
The winter meetings? Yeah.
I answer without hesitation. She smiles widely, giving the setting sun some competition.
Yes! I'm so glad you're staying aboard.
The feeling's mutual.
Of course. What? Did you think I'd just use you for grades and leave?
Nah, not you. You wouldn't do that.
She trusted me that much?
It paid off. The art club's latest, greatest member.
Yes! More and more Caprice's little uplifts and compliments start to feel believable. Or at least, they seem to be hitting me differently than they used to.
Hardly greatest.
Hey, don't sell yourself short.
Everyone's the greatest, Ollie.
Aw.
You would say that.
You would say that, and I would believe it. She grins at me as the trolley comes to a stop at our destination.
But there's only one president.
The greatest president. Greatest art club president. We disembark the trolley together, stretching in unison as we do.
Hey, let's meet back at the clubroom later.
Is anyone else here today?
Not that I know of.
Just us. Just us.
Alright then. See you later.
Bye!
She makes her way inside, leaving me alone at the gate. As quickly as the stress of making it through the semester left me, another anxiety was quick to take its place. It'll be as good a time as any to talk about things. Oh. Still has, club project things? I dump my near-empty backpack on the floor and take a seat in what's become my usual chair. The art club is illuminated by the setting sun through the blinds of the window. I've seen this room in this light before, but something about it now feels a little bit sad. It's not just the end of the day, but the end of the semester. It's not the end of the art club, though. I couldn't leave even if I wanted to. The bouncy sound of footsteps alerts me to the reason why coming up the hallway to join me in the room.
It's good to be done with that. I hate dealing with that stuff.
Administrative business, am I right? She plops down in a seat next to me.
It's part of the job, unfortunately.
Eileen likes to do it instead, usually.
Oh, really? You pulling that off on Eileen? Likes to, huh?
Well, it's all over now.
Yep.
Slouching lower, she lets out a great sigh. She looks around the room, so I follow her lead and do the same. I try to take in the image of painted canvases, both finished and unfinished. Most are Eileen's, but I recognize some of Allison's. There's a few posters about, some of Caprice's distinct style, alongside a small handful of Wallace's prints. Whiteboard and half-smudged writing reads, Step 1, listen! Step 2, draw!
I wonder how many more times we'll be back here. Not many, huh?
We've got next semester at least.
She allows herself a moment of melancholy as her eyes sweep across the room.
Well, it's not like we need this room to get together.
Quick as it's gone, her usual cheerful self is back again, quite literally hopping back to attention as her eyes catch mine again.
Definitely.
I feel like there are things I want to say, but I don't really know how to say them. It's hard to even articulate it myself.
Say, Ollie.
I don't know if I really get it. There's this desire, this need almost, to speak up, but without knowing what will come out of my mouth once I do so. It's impossible to rehearse the words in my head.
I've been thinking.
All I can do is pull the trigger and see where this goes.
So listen. I
Oh,
know it hasn't been that long.
oh, she's cooking something. We're cooking internally, she's cooking externally.
Hey,
Oh?
Caprice. Sorry, but can I ask you something?
Oh? She looks slightly taken aback. To this point, I realize I've kind of interrupted her.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
No. Go ahead.
Oh no. Oh no, they're both shy dorks.
Really, I didn't mean to.
They're both shy dorks.
It's fine.
Oh gosh, they're both blushing. I am more than willing to keep going in circles, but with how much she's stammering, it feels like it'd be futile to try and push her into it. I mean, I can go first. That's fine, right? I had the words in my head, but...
What were you gonna ask?
That's too embarrassing and way too forward. There's no way I could do that. She'd probably think it's weird anyways.
It's no good to keep things in.
Speak, Ollie. She's right, of course. Energy and determination seeps into everything she says and does, and I find myself feeding off of that as my resolve steals. Now or never.
In fact...
It's now or never, Ollie.
In fact...
Uh-oh. We are cooking. She wants to hear what you were cooking.
I like you.
Oh.
Would you want to go on a date sometime?
Ooh. That expression, though. We'd love to see it. We love to see it.
What?
Yeah. She yells, even more high-pitched than usual. She's vibing.
Oh, no. No, I was going to say that.
Uh-oh.
Like, a date? Like, a date?
Like a date date.
Like, dating?
Like dating. She has something of a frantic look as she moves about anxiously. Her face is bright red, and she laces and unlaces her fingers together in an uncharacteristically nervous fashion.
Yes.
Ah!
She holds her face in her hands and shakes her head.
Is that a no?
Uh-oh.
You interrupted me! You can't just get the jump on me like that. That's not fair!
Wait, hold on. You told me to go first with how much you were trying to force it out of me. I figured you'd caught on.
Oh.
No! I was just saying things. I've been psyching myself up for a while.
Oh.
So it's a yes.
Despite the snowfall outside, it feels like I'm about to melt from overheating. Must be blushing head to toe. And so is she.
Obviously.
Aw.
Okay. Cool.
We did it. We got over that hurdle. Cool. She smiles a little shyly, and it's a new kind of brilliant. Somehow she keeps showing me new ways to glow. That's a really wholesome sentence. That's a beautiful sentence. Ooh, watercolors. And now?
Ollie! This is so exciting!
And Mom knows.
Yeah, but
The moment she stepped into the diner, I had a feeling.
but it already feels like I'm not doing enough.
As quick as I was to immediately jump to dating, I was just as eager to pass the buck to her when she offered to pick the place. Even if she jumped at the chance, I've still been feeling guilty over not being able to commit to something myself and leaving the burden of choice to her.
Well, she has to handle it, right? Did you have anywhere in mind yourself?
I don't know. Somewhere nice?
It's easier said than done.
Expensive nice?
Yes? I mean,
I suppose that's the,
You're college students, honey.
it's a first date, though.
expensive restaurant is definitely a cliche, but the fact that it is a cliche makes me feel like it would have been a safe bet. But which is something I feel like I desperately need to not screw up first impressions.
Do you think Caprice would have been impressed by somewhere expensive?
I mean,
No.
without question, that's not something Caprice cares about.
No one knows what Caprice likes better than Caprice herself. If she offered, just trust in her and go with the flow.
I wish she'd at least tell me what she has in mind. I don't want to under-prepare or over-prepare. I didn't even think about over-preparing until now. God.
We are now overthinking.
You're overthinking things again, sweetie.
I inhale deeply.
I'm sure if she had something concrete in mind, she'd tell you. Have faith that Caprice knows you well enough to not put you on the spot like that.
I exhale.
Remember, what you end up doing doesn't matter. The point is just being together. Be yourself and you'll be fine, okay?
Right? Yeah. Olive was confident in his Anomic and Millie route, but here they're an awkward mess. Yeah, honestly. They still got it, but the confidence is harder to come by. I mean, I suppose when it came to Millie's route, they had plenty of time to sort of practice and get comfortable with the fake dating routine with Millie before they actually started dating. It was a more natural progression, and here they broke the ice there. Broke the ice there. Now we are dating. Now we're just working through things as they come. And then
Yes. All right. Okay.
and turning to Mom for advice.
Relax and enjoy yourselves. If you aren't having fun, then she won't be either. You're excited, aren't you?
That's one word for it.
Anxious, nervous, and sick to my stomach are also potential winners.
Well, I'm excited for you. Tell me all about it, okay?
Of course, Mom. Love you.
I love you too. Good luck.
Despite everything, at least I can say I'm looking forward to it, even if I'm not sure what it is yet. Honestly, Olive would probably... Whoa, hello! I step off the trolley and I'm quickly greeted by my date. And trying to get used to thinking in terms like that still throws my mind for a loop, no matter how much I try to force it into normalcy.
Ollie!
It's over and just about tackles me into a hug, despite the Ollie alarm going off. Taken by surprise by the suddenness of it all the same.
Hi. Hello.
Pulls away, looking a bit red. If she's a faint shade, it must look like the surface of the sun. Caprice is dressed up in her usual streetwear. I'm immediately thankful I won the coin flip to decide not to wear anything special myself. We walk side by side, close enough to combat the evening chill.
Any trouble getting here?
Nope. Quiet ride. How about you?
A quiet ride, too.
It feels entirely different when she says it. I had been told Millie offered to drive for today, which surprised me. I was hoping it was a sign that things were finally cooling down between them, but it seems as much of a sore spot as ever. As we continue our walk, I try to find a good place to ask where exactly we were headed. as Caprice walks leisurely, glancing from place to place like she's looking for something.
Oh, how about we head inside here?
She didn't decide on something. We're flying by the seat of our pants. Why do I get that feeling? Caprice stops, tugging at my shoulder to ensure I follow suit. We've landed right outside the small cafe Caprice would occasionally bring us to over the course of the semester.
How about it?
What's up?
I thought when you said you wanted to pick the place, you had somewhere in mind.
Nope, she was just flying by the seat of her pants.
Jumping to conclusions as always. I didn't have a single idea where to go.
Oh.
Finding inspiration along the way is kind of our thing, right?
Honestly, yeah. That's cute and comforting. She gives me a light nudge and all that worry for nothing. I was overthinking it.
You're right. You're right. You sure you're okay with this for a first date, though? It's not exactly unfamiliar territory.
I mean, hey, familiar is good.
We usually just grab something quick and head out, though. We can try their sit-in stuff so it'll feel different. Besides, familiar is good. It was either this, the pizza place, or the aquarium, and a cafe feels more, I don't know, romantic than a pizzeria?
Using the Zorro option, just stumble into your goal with all sincerity. Yes.
What about the aquarium, then?
Ah,
That place is extremely important to me. I can't just take you there from the get-go. You gotta work up to that.
we gotta build up to the aquarium date.
You dragged me there when we were basically strangers.
Hey, it's different in a
Totally
romantic.
different context. You were merely my student, and it was a valuable educational experience. Now you're my,
It's comforting to know that even someone like Caprice is having so much trouble navigating parts of this as I am. Least I can do is offer it out, like we're likely both desperately searching for at this point.
I'm freezing. Let's head inside.
yeah.
The tiny table is littered with a handful of pastries, mostly gravitating toward Caprice's side, and a couple of ceramic cups. Though identical, it's easy to figure out which belongs to who. Caprice's looks only vaguely like coffee, and it's otherwise filled with what must be a dozen different kinds of sweeteners.
I've watched it like 10 times.
10 times? Really?
Oh, the oak tree, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Come on, you have to watch it at least once.
It's not usually my kind of thing.
I'll make you watch it with me.
This is a threat. This is a threat. She is so delightfully screen capable.
Strapped to a chair, eyes taped open, the whole 9 yards if I gotta.
Oh no. He managed to settle into a groove I can only describe as surprisingly normal, given how flustered we were upon entering. Conversations about nothing in particular come and go, each other's presence being more important than any individual subject matter that comes up. I quiet myself with a sip of the cafe's house blend.
I can't wait to tell everyone else.
Tell
me.
what?
That we're dating. You don't want to?
Oh. Her dejected tone immediately tells me that wasn't the way to go.
It's not that. I'm just nervous.
I know we're still working this out.
They're our friends. They'll be happy to know.
Yeah, I know. It's just a lot all at once. It took all my confidence just to tell my mom, so you can imagine.
They're like family too. It'll be easy.
That's right. To Caprice, the club is a vital part of her life. The other members are my friends too, though I'm still getting to know them in ways. This is our first date, so I haven't even had time to think about delivering the news. How could I, when it doesn't even feel entirely real to me yet?
You know, when Allison and Eileen started dating, Allie eventually told me they had a small back and forth about whether to tell me right away or not.
God, no, the road sped by with your. Oh no. Roach attack! Danger!
Oh,
Yeah, I understood, of course. Everyone has their own pace with these kind of things, I think. But we should definitely break the news as soon as you're comfortable with it.
Oh, so it really has experience with that then. That's wholesome.
It'll probably be a little embarrassing, but speaking from experience, I'm willing to bet they're just waiting in the wings for something official to come out so they can support us properly.
I mean, let's face it, Eileen knows. She knows. And if she knows, then Allison definitely knows. Think back to our finals projects in Rio. Caprice hit it a bit better than me, but I feel like I couldn't have been more obvious.
I guess we weren't exactly subtle about things, huh?
Well, maybe that's good. Being obvious is better for the matters of the heart.
You think so?
Don't want to keep her waiting when it's obvious how much she wants to tell everyone. Nothing else, I've always been able to count on Caprice to teach me to run before I learned to crawl. So maybe it'll be easier to make that call with her there.
We can tell them next time we all get together.
Don't force yourself to do it for my sake.
She says, trying and failing to hide the excitement in her tone.
It's fine. Like you said, it's probably not even news anyway.
She's given up trying to mask her enthusiasm, reaching over the table to grab my hand. It's a miracle neither of our cups get knocked over in the process.
I knew I could count on you.
Aww.
You keep saying that.
Haven't proven me wrong yet.
Aww.
Against all odds.
Ollie.
I expect her grip to loosen as her voice quiets. To my surprise, she holds my hands even tighter.
You were at every meeting, even the ones you knew weren't going to help you at all. I know some of that was because of your situation, but it doesn't change the fact that you were reliable. I started taking the trolley after Millie and I started fighting.
Ah.
It used to be the worst part of my day. When you started joining me, it turned into the highlight. Part of me was worried it was only temporary, that you'd eventually start taking your bike again or leave earlier in the day. But you never did. From the first day of snow to the last day of school, I could always count on you to be there.
She closes her eyes, taking a deep breath before opening them again.
Well, it's what I love about you.
Aww. What? How do I respond to that? My heart pounds in my chest and my thoughts begin to swirl. I focus on our interlocked hands and give hers a gentle squeeze. Last thing I want is for her to interpret my silence as anything but positive. I want to return the favor. Tell her how the time spent with her was the best part of the semester. She helped me to forget about my worries, even if it was only for a couple of hours every school day. As clear as the words are in my head, I can't quite piece them together aloud. Every time I consider opening my mouth, everything suddenly feels like a jumbled mess. So this is the build here to figuring this out. Something, though, it's small. She deserves more, but it's the one thing I can say with absolute clarity.
I love you too.
Aww. Oh. Gives a small gasp as her grip loosens on my hands. She smiles wider than I've ever seen her smile before, only to have it shrink and shrivel as she takes a sip of her drink.
Ugh.
Yeah?
Echo cold?
No, it just tastes too much like coffee.
Your coffee tastes like coffee.
What? But there's hardly any coffee in that. Your cup is like 99% sugar.
We've been a couple for less than 3 hours and you're already trying to break my heart.
No. I slide a cookie from my side of the table over to her as a peace offering, which she is quick to accept. Conversations dip back into random bits and bobs as the sky changes color over the city. The trolley drops us off a couple blocks from Caprice's apartment just as the sun vanishes from sight. We walk the rest of the distance to her place, fingers intertwined and smiles on our faces.
Well, Olive.
Caprice.
I had fun.
Aw.
Me too. Maybe we could do it again.
Definitely. But you're in charge next time.
This morning feels like a lifetime ago. I completely forgot what I was upset about that. Thankfully, I feel like after today I have a better read of the kind of experiences Caprice cherishes.
I think you have an outstanding IOU for cooking lessons.
Outstanding is right. I have high hopes.
Oh.
It's a date.
Sure is.
She motions me closer, and I oblige. Oh! Even with the build-up to it, our kiss still doesn't fail to take me by surprise. My chest feeling fit to burst with warmth as our lips meet. The start of the semester feels like it was a million years ago. The worries and fears hung heavy on me the entire time. A lot of it was self-inflicted, I know. Even if it wasn't, when I think about all the time spent stressing about the situation and being terrified of letting the people closest to me down, and bringing myself right back to right here, right now, in this moment, it's worth it. Mom was right. The irony of it all is pretty silly. I spend so long in my thoughts that, before I know it, Caprice pulls away and her eyes open to meet mine once again.
Good night, Ollie.
Good night.
As I'm still recovering from her surprise, I wave and watch her enter her apartment. The warmth I'm feeling right now will be enough to stave off the cold until I can find my way home. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. We're in a new route. New game. Baldur's Gate 3. If only we have sunglasses emoji. Between the different proteins, spices, and vegetables, the bag of ingredients I bought is nigh bursting with potential. Not entirely sure what we're going to do with all this yet, but I wanted to leave Caprice some options as to what she wanted to try making first. Give a gentle knock on her apartment door with my free hand, eager to get our second date underway. How is this going to go? Sure, it's only been a couple of days since our last date. Maybe it's a bit fast, but neither of us are too worried about that. More accurately, without classes and an excuse to see each other every day, it feels longer than usual. Door's open. Door's quick to open, as expected for someone like Caprice. And it's Haley. Hi.
Oh.
Oh. Except when it's Haley, I guess. When we were planning this the other day, Caprice said her roommates would be out for a bit, so the kitchen would be less crowded. Maybe she got our days mixed up?
Not who you were expecting? It's okay. I was hoping you were someone else too.
Well then, she always knows just what to say. Haley opens the door the rest of the way and steps aside, beckoning me in. Quick scan of the room shows things are even more cramped than I thought they'd be. Millie sitting almost motionless on the couch, and Caprice up across the room at the kitchen counter looking unchanged, uncharacteristically grumpy. The real surprise comes from Miss Shifton sitting alongside her daughter, matching Caprice's agitation with visible discomfort. We have really... This got awkward in a hurry. Before I have time to even begin to imagine what I've stepped into, Caprice's expression rapidly shifts after finally becoming aware of my presence.
Oh, hey!
Hey! Donk! She's quick to greet me with a hug. Between the sudden impact of her and the 3 sets of eyes I can feel on me, it feels as though I'm about to collapse in on myself. Hi? Hey, babe? What's up? Thankfully, a couple of pats on her back is enough of a signal for her to release me from her vice grip. Sudden smiles on everyone else in the room shows the damage has already been done, though.
Guess the cat's out of the bag, huh?
Hey, everyone.
It's been out of the bag since the second she got home after you asked her out.
You should not be surprised. I would have been more surprised if she had actually managed to avoid bringing it up with them.
She got a free car ride out of it.
Yeah.
I was happy for you two when she dropped the news. It was the least I could do.
Oh, well, thanks, Millie. Sincerity in her voice confuses me further, It's hard to get a grasp on the relationship between these two. Every time they mention each other, it's an entirely different mood.
Sorry for getting in your hair today. I know you two had something planned.
Oh?
Still have planned. Trust the process.
Trust the process. I don't want to outright ask why they're still here if that's the case, but it'd be nice to get an answer regardless. Millie does me a favor and chimes in.
Haley and I were headed out to prepare some paperwork for next semester, but my engine wouldn't start this morning. My dad's taking a look at it now. We should hopefully have some good news soon.
Ah, June bug through a shoe.
That makes sense. Sorry for the bother.
No bother at all. We aren't even supposed to be here right now.
That's fair. That explains most everything, except for the woman sitting silently in the little corner of the room. A far cry from her commanding presence at the auditorium.
It's good to see you again, ma'am.
Shock on her face makes me immediately second-guess the greeting. It's not a feeling I'm unfamiliar with. Maybe I should have just let her continue to sink into the background. As telling us her expression is, she quickly shakes it off and replaces it with a warm smile.
Ma'am, it's worse than usual. I told you first names are fine, right? Especially now that we're practically family.
Mom!
As much as we go back and forth, it seems like Caprice's mom and her are even worse. Caprice's genuine embarrassment is pretty endearing, though.
Alright, I'll try to get better at that.
I'll hold you to it.
Aw, at least the mood has lightened a little compared to the sorry state of the room when I first walked in. One final question hangs in my mind before I can be confident I've figured out everything about the situation.
So what brings you here today? Just hanging out?
Awkward smile between Millie and Charlie here. Yeah? Charlie's face freezes. Her expression twists and turns, trying to piece together an answer.
Millie's father and I were grabbing lunch together when she called. I offered to stay behind, but...
They're kind of a package deal nowadays.
She's a family friend.
A kind of a package deal now. Yep. Millie's unusually quick follow-up makes me nervous by itself, let alone when combined with Charlie's face deflating and Haley bringing her headphones over her ears. Millie is...
Well, she is, isn't she?
What's your deal starting this now? With Olive here?
Millie looks to me, then Caprice, her expression visibly softening, if only for a little. After a small scan, Millie swivels her head back around, staring absent-mindedly at the powered-off television.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, she is still stewing. Understandable. Haley is me when an argument is about to happen. Yep, that's a mood. That makes two of us. Despite my ignorance, it's feeling increasingly obvious that something's on the verge of bubbling over. Thankfully, the rapping on the door behind me puts everything on pause as everyone turns their attention to it. Meeting everyone's eyes, it suddenly dawns on me that I'm right in front of the door. I turn around and slowly open it. And there he is.
Hello. You are...
Our height distance difference isn't that drastic, but the man at the door still feels like he handily towers over me. A stern expression hangs on his face, betrayed ever so slightly by the gentleness in his voice. His red coat, covered in oil, gives me enough context to make an educated guess at who he is.
Hello? Hi, I'm Olive. Sorry.
I quickly step to the side to get out of his way.
Oh, you must be Caprice's partner. Nice to meet you. My name's Mike.
Even you know. Even you know. All right. As he steps inside, he makes a point to shake my hand, leaving behind a giant oil stain. Between that and the bag of groceries in my other hand, I've effectively been left stranded.
Just as you thought. It's an old girl showing her age. She's a tough one, though. Stay on top of the oil changes and you'll be alright.
Poor Junebug. Will do. Thanks for taking a look.
Millie's dad gives a smile, glancing to Caprice and her mom across the room. He opens his mouth to say something, but Millie clears her throat loudly, cutting him off.
We'd better head out before it gets too late. Ready, Haley?
Haley gives the quickest nod I've ever seen and slides past Mike and I out the door. Can't say I blame her. She stands up, grabs her coat by the nearby rack, and makes her exit, giving me a quick smile as the door closes behind her. Jeannie, hello! How we doing? You just missed a bit of an awkward moment. A bit of an awkward family moment here, but hope your night's going well.
Ugh, she's so...
Stubborn, Millie is.
Caprice.
I'm still left dumbfounded by the entire ordeal. Felt like an argument was about to form from, what I can tell, a really innocent remark. Then it just dissolved at the drop of a hat?
Did I miss something?
Haley's like, thank God it was quick. Yeah, Haley wanted to get out of there in a hurry. When the headphones come on, Haley is ready to Bailey.
You arrived just in the nick of time.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that line. Haley is ready to Bailey. Someone clip that. He moves his way past me into the kitchen.
You two can't keep this up forever.
You're preaching to the choir.
Am I now?
Oh? I mean... The water starting when the kitchen sink pulls me out of my stupor and reminds me of the position I've been left in. Slowly I approach the kitchen counter, gently placing the bag of ingredients down. Please don't notice me. Please don't notice me. He noticed me. I was bound to be noticed eventually, waiting beside Mike for my turn to wash the grease off my hands. Turns to address me as he shakes away the water before reaching for a paper towel and allowing me sink access.
So, what brings you out here, Olive? I mean, Caprice, I'd imagine. But, you know, specifics.
He doesn't wait for an answer before taking a peek into my bag.
Well, I told Caprice I'd teach her how to cook, so I brought over some stuff. Figured we could think of something to make between it and whatever they have lying about here.
I finished washing my hands, just in time to see him unscrew the lid off a jar and give it a small sniff, before closing it again and turning his attention to the fridge. Caprice and Charlie seem as bewildered as I am, giving a look to each other as he continues his rummaging. Are we gonna have a big group, yeah. Are we gonna have a big group family cooking session here? Olive trying to avoid the father past.
You could throw some chicken parm together with what you've got available. You ever make it?
Yeah? The diner I work at has sandwiches, at least.
You want to handle the pasta and I'll help with the chicken? You could share notes.
Oh no. We're being adopted into this family. What?
Mike, this is supposed to be a date. For them.
That's seemingly enough to stop him as he sheepishly closes the fridge.
Oh, right. I was still in work mode, sorry.
Just as they think we're slowly inching towards returning to our original plan, the laugh Caprice is clearly struggling to keep in gives me the impression we aren't out of the woods just yet.
Did I tell you the first time Ollie came over, they jumped right into cooking something too? Let's scratch the original plan.
Oh no.
You two should totally do something together.
Oh no, Ollie wanted alone time.
But
There's always next time, it's fine. I'm a quick learner, we can start whenever. Doesn't have to be today.
Oh no. Gives me a cat-like grin, leaning forward for the table with entirely too much interest. Really? Charlie gives a shrug, accompanied by a small smile. Oh dear. I share a glance with Mike, both of us knowing there's no real chance of walking this back. He starts moving his oil-ridden coat as I begin unpacking our necessary ingredients. Well, hey, stepdad-in-law. Future stepdad-in-law. Let's cook. Oh. Well. Oh. After trying to figure out how to stay out of each other's way, Mike and I eventually make progress on our impromptu assignment. While Caprice and Charlie chat away without a care in the world, my conversations with Mike are infrequent and brief.
So, You recognized me as soon as you heard the name. Does Millie talk about me a lot?
Or have you heard about me from, by double proxy from Caprice, talking to Charlie, talking to Mike a lot, since Charlie and Mike are engaged.
No such thing as secrets between the Clark and Shifton households. If you tell Caprice your favorite color, I know about it before the end of the day.
That's terrifying. That's endearing, but also terrifying. He stops his cheese grating and gives me a knowing look over.
Orange?
Yeah.
Uncanny.
I try to play it off sarcastically. Unfortunately, his face lights up. He really did.
Really? It's the first time I've gotten it right the first try. Maybe this old man hasn't lost his touch yet.
Oh.
Well, your favorite color is now orange, Ollie. Well, I'll be taking that joke to the grave then. He goes back to his prep while I start reducing the pasta sauce.
Sorry you got wrapped up in this, Olive.
It's fine. If Caprice is happy, then doesn't matter what we actually end up doing.
Aw, that's awesome outcome.
Aww.
I forgot who I was talking to for a second. Definitely a mistake I'm eager to not make again.
I'm happy to hear that. Enjoying your time together is important.
It'd be nice if all of us could be here. Millie used to love our family dinners. She insisted you always made better potatoes than I did.
Yeah, well, it's her loss. She'd be over it by now if she just tried to spend time together.
Having trouble picking which route I like best. Same, honestly. Yeah, we still have to bridge that gap of understanding. Caprice is trying, but Caprice still has to bridge that gap of understanding. It is kind of nice to see that conflict is still the same. Like, the dynamic between Caprice and Millie is still the same between routes here. Caprice is trying, but Caprice has to stop and listen and understand Millie's perspective here. Millie still has to find her voice to be able to voice her perspective. In order to do that safely, Caprice needs to slow her roll a little bit.
There's still a few months for her to come around. Let's be patient.
What's happening in a few months?
It started as an absent-minded inquiry, but I can feel the mood of the room change slightly, even as I'm working away. The silence starts lasting just a little too long to remain comfortable.
Caprice? Have you not said anything? It's just never come up. Besides, it's not even a big deal.
What's not a big deal? Oh.
Charlie and I are tying the knot this spring.
On one hand, Millie covers my favorite subject and has good drama. On the other hand, Caprice shows the family structure and has a better friend. Yeah, much better friend group. Much better friend group. Caprice's energy is, of course, very endearing. Mike looks pissed off. Or the tension is palpable. Mike continues mixing his now grated cheese with some breadcrumbs, answering nonchalantly.
Oh.
The truth come out. Oh, is that all I have to say? Things suddenly make a whole lot more and a whole lot less sense all at once, and there's 100 things I want to ask, but that single exclamation is all that manages to leave my lips.
With the way you talk about your back and forth with Millie's club and Olive being in the center of it for a while, I think it's at least good for you to let them know the why, especially now that you're a pair. It's not like I was deliberately hiding it. Like I said, unlike Millie, I just don't see the issue.
I thought you were just arguing about club stuff this entire time.
What?
There was always,
No, we're adults, Ollie. I love our little club, but it's not something to get angry about.
Right.
Look, I know you told us not to interfere and that you can handle it, but just try your best to cool the flames a bit and bridge the gap, yeah?
We seem to...
love both of you, and we don't want you two to fight based on our decision.
Mike and Charlie seem to at least have the right idea here. They're just also terrible at figuring it out in their own right.
Please don't push each other away over this. I'd give the world to see you two back to the way you were. Yeah, I know. I'm just happy for you two, and I'm sure Millie would see it the same way if she just... Ugh, sorry.
It's different for Millie. We'll hopefully be able to bridge that gap from Caprice's side this time, but Mike's calm approach to this helps make the conversation feel under control, even if Charlie looks like she's choking up. There's so much context I feel like I'm missing, but that's not something I'm keen to prod at right now.
Hey, Olive.
Being singled out in the middle of this causes my heart to drop. I try my best to take a cue from Caprice and bounce back as quickly as I can.
Yeah?
I'm sure it isn't a super appealing offer as it stands.
Oh.
You could join us for Christmas this year if your schedule is open. We'd be glad to have you. Consider it making amends for the sudden change in plans today.
Caprice's face lights up at the suggestion, but the fact that Charlie's still hung up about this makes me feel awful. Woman's got a lot on her plate. Aw. I'm just realizing that we could, because of how bright and cheery she is, we could nickname Caprice Capri Sun.
If it's not a burden, I don't mind. Mom's gonna be working this year anyway.
We could have a Mikey mode in that scene for when we see something inappropriate or scummy.
Oh no, poor thing.
I don't know, I'll have to look that up. I'll have to clip that. I'm not sure if she's referring to me or Mom.
That's nothing new, unfortunately. We've already made plans to celebrate a couple days early, at least.
I kind of want the Caprice is judging you emote. Just I absolutely adore that. I'm just sort of clipping delightful Caprice expressions in the background, and I need to. Say, I am live clipping Caprice as we get to amazing Caprice expressions here. Where is she? Like, I want this expression. I love this expression. That's perfect. That's perfectly emotable. I love that. She is looking. She is judging. But I also love this. Just full, bright-eyed, wholesome. Oh yeah, I love that one. Millie has her fingers tented together, smiling in that exasperated smile. Millie, I know exactly the one you're thinking of there, Twin. I love that one.
No objections on my end. You being around may even help keep our two troublemakers in check.
I resent that.
Oh, you know it's
I've never known
true.
you to resent anything.
You know it's true.
I'll make sure my schedule's open.
Excitement on Caprice's face and the smile on Charlie's puts a nice bow on the conversation, allowing me to refocus on my sauce, which I now realize I've been mindlessly stirring for the last little while.
I think I'm done on my end. Just have to throw the noodles into some water when the chicken gets close to done. Need any help?
Want to double check my work? I'd rather trust the kitchen hand's opinions than my own.
It'll be fine, Mike. I don't know how you can be so confident about everything else, but still don't trust yourself to cook a meal after so long. I remember you making this way back when I was in grade school. I hope you have it down by now.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, it's been passable, I guess. But it's hard to feel confident working beside a pro.
Despite the whirlwind surrounding the people in this room, Looks like we managed to make it through to the other side unscathed for now, as smiles and laughter start to repopulate the apartment. There's still a lot of questions left unanswered, but it's probably best to let sleeping dogs lie for now. Everyone involved in this deserved better than all of this drama. It seems like it's a long way off from the disappearing, but I can at least help them forget about it for the rest of the day. A few days later. Ooh, Winter Art Club. What do we got? Though it hasn't been long since the semester ended, I feel like I'm looking at the club room in a light I've never seen before.
Wallace, help me carry some of these canvases.
Ooh, Eileen time?
Did I hear a please?
No. Though he argues, Wallace has already moved to help her. Allison is busy pulling a few of her things from the cabinet.
This'll probably be the last time we come back here till the break's over, so make sure you don't accidentally leave anything behind.
Oh, are we waiting for supplies? Caprice stands, hands on her hips, like a boss overseeing her workers.
Still feels like the semester just started.
It sure went quick, huh?
Yeah. It was kind of scary at the start. Felt like everything was going so fast and I had no time at all. Now it feels like
a memory that's barely there. Like all of the fear and the pressure didn't really matter. A lot happened. More than I can ever begin to count.
Like you had so much fun it was gone before you noticed?
Catch myself smiling, only noticing after the fact.
something like that.
Fun's a decent word for it, I guess. I met people I consider my friends. I met my girlfriend. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to them.
Things changed a lot this semester.
The semester is one thing, but I'm still struggling to believe the club's been around for a whole year.
Everyone else here has been in this room longer than I have. They have memories attached that I can't imagine.
Gosh, I remember last year. I was too scared to even come in here.
Yet here you are.
The fact that the club began with a stolen key and a hostile takeover seems only fitting for this group in particular. Eileen gives a weary sigh.
You know you wanted us to.
You know. Eileen puts her hand on her girlfriend's back. Allison smiles.
She was fine. I could have done without you.
And without me, where would you be now?
Here with one less annoyance.
Wrong. You'd have to go be a sad loner somewhere else. This room would be ours.
Oh yeah? You think you could have taken it from me?
Uh-oh. Stare down. Intensity. Even with how intense their mutual glares are, it doesn't feel like there's any real animosity there. That doesn't stop Allison from wearing a worried look on her face. Wallace is totally nonplussed. Just another day in the club. Still, I find myself a bit put off at Eileen's negativity. I thought I'd be used to it by now, but no such luck. Finally coming to the realization that the scuffle isn't genuine, Allison turns to look out the window.
But it really won't be long until we're not coming back here at all, huh?
Silence hangs over the room, the energy coming from Eileen and Caprice's back and forth quickly evaporating into nothing. As to be expected at this point, Caprice is the first to speak up.
There's still one more semester at least.
This one went so fast. Imagine how fast that one will feel.
Well, it's not like we won't still be around.
Maybe. I've been looking at universities.
Same.
Oh, guys.
I'd have to be Debbie Doubters now. Just as I think I've pushed the thought out of my mind, it resurfaces one way or another, where I'm going after this. Feels too soon to think about the next step, to think about parting ways until these places I've become used to, with these people.
I mean, the art club won't die just because we transfer out, you know?
Damn, Allison is me when I'm finished with college. That's, yeah, understandable. Inflation in her voice is slight, but noticeable. She's back to her chip herself, not even a moment later, her posture fixing itself with the blink of an eye.
Come on, let's not talk about this right now. We've got things to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still bothering her, though. Understandable, but Allison gives a small sigh as she continues collecting her things. Eileen and Wallace return to gathering canvases. Caprice lingers, looking unsure of what to do. Given her excitement over it just days ago, I'm surprised at how much she's hesitating. I inch my way forward, whispering distance.
Getting cold feet?
No, of course not. Just waiting for the right time.
Oh, you're going to announce it. After her taking the lead so confidently for so long, It's nice to get the occasional reminder that I'm not totally alone with my anxiety.
It'll probably be at least a couple weeks before we're all back in one room again.
Shh.
Gah.
You two want to share with the class?
Gah. Busted. Caprice and I both jump as Eileen pulls our focus onto her. Caught red-handed, though, I guess the two of us sitting in the corner whispering was bound to look suspicious no matter how careful we were.
Sure what? We were just having a conversation. Do you always butt in when...
Caprice and I are dating.
Olive!
I don't know how our roles were reversed so handily. I even surprised myself, being the one to drop the news like that. With Caprice being so excited by it earlier, I just didn't want the opportunity to pass us by, I suppose. Allison immediately brightened up.
Just, thought you should know, I guess.
I love that. Allison just immediately sparkles. We love Olive with a confident riz. Immediate reaction is, mild. Even Allison, who was my personal bet to be the jumping up and down wildly at the news, instead just settles for a large smile. As if to accentuate it, Eileen gives a bored look.
Yeah, we know.
What? How?
We hit it so well.
Why?
She's exploding.
Who?
Who spilled the beans? Her eyes narrow, realization hitting her before she even finishes asking the question. She stares daggers at Wallace, who gives a meek shrug.
Millie and I still talk, you know. We were in the same club
Aha!
until recently.
Aha!
And Wallace is more of a gossip than you'd think.
Narc.
Millie...
Old. Oh no. I tilt my head back over to Caprice, who is now desperately trying to pull her hat down over her eyes. I'll admit, the idea of sneaking entirely into my hoodie right now sounds pretty appealing, too.
We didn't want to say anything until you told us so you didn't feel pressured or anything. But now that you have, I just want to say how happy I am for you two.
Oh.
Yeah, thrilled. We can hold our 10th pizza party of the year over it later if you want, but we should probably finish clearing out before they come around to lock the room.
Right! Yeah, time's of the essence.
Thank you for the out, Eileen.
Hey, need help carrying anything?
Yes! You, help with my music player. I need to find one of my sketchbooks, too.
Fair enough. Caprice is barely able to see the stacks of supplies and various in-progress work she's taken with her. I've got a load in my arms too, but she insisted on carrying the bulk of it.
You better find a way to fit all that without damaging my car.
Uh-oh. My car.
When have I ever?
I lag behind the group, content to let the others race ahead. Something catches the corner of my eye. A woman sitting on a bench some ways away, just in a white coat with red accents. Millie! Millie's all but scowling at her phone, an unusual expression for her. Everything is telling me to just keep walking, but after recent revelations, there's the lightest tug pulling me toward her. It's worth at least trying to talk. Helping Millie is helping Caprice, and I've got a million favors to repay her.
Hey guys, I forgot something. I'm gonna head back real quick.
I'll help.
Your hands are full enough as is. It'll be fast.
Don't take too long or I'll leave without you.
Yeah, I know.
My assurances are good enough for the both of them as they resume their walk to Eileen's car.
So, Eileen, while I've got you here, I want your updated thoughts on...
Oh, they're talking about the thing?
I'm still fine with handling it for you.
They're talking about the thing.
No, I just want to poke your brain a bit.
Wait until we're back at the car.
As wrapped up another conversation, they continue ahead as I circle back.
Hey,
Oh, Millie looks up from her phone, her face shifting from scorn to surprise.
Oh, hello, Olive. What are you doing here?
was picking up some last-minute stuff.
I shrug with the items in my hand.
With the rest of your club?
Yeah, they're heading to the car, but I thought I'd come say hi.
Hello? She smiles at me, setting her phone on her lap.
Well, that's a pleasant surprise. Hello.
Hello?
Everything okay?
She must notice me glancing at her phone as she looks down at it too.
Oh, yes, just talking with my dad. It's nothing.
Oh, okay.
It's really hard for that to not sound suspect, knowing what I know now.
Though, speaking of, I heard you might be joining us for Christmas?
I feel my spine stiffen.
Word, it travels fast.
Sure
No
does.
secrets between the Clark and Shifton households.
As we know, I can't help but grimace. I guess that really wasn't an exaggeration. Millie's smile widens and she clasps her hands together, doing her best to drive my uncertainty away.
Don't worry, I think it's a great idea.
You do?
Well, sure. You're with Caprice now, so why not?
Fair enough.
You don't think it'll be strange or awkward?
You're, very supportive of Caprice's happiness in this regard.
No, not at all. Unless you're worried about us. We're nice people, Olive.
Like, yeah, even... Remember on Millie's path, even with her conflict with Caprice and her dad, Charlie, she still loves them. She still loves Caprice. She still wants the best for them. She just wasn't quite ready to accept the changes that were coming. She needed her time to grieve. So even though she is still very much struggling with this, in this sense, she's still more than within her rights to be happy for Caprice and supportive of Caprice and Olive. Shoot, that came out entirely wrong.
Oh, sorry. I really didn't mean anything like that.
I'm sure it's just a tough time for everyone involved. Just afraid of me being around will make things worse.
I know you've been caught between us at times. I'm sorry about the other day. You don't need to worry, though. It's Christmas. Even if things are a bit different from usual, we can't overlook that.
Right? I want to believe that, but...
If you're sure. I don't want you to have to push however you're feeling aside on my account, though.
Millie gives me a difficult look, pursing her lips slightly before averting her gaze. Something about that either landed horribly or too close for home. Even with all my time getting to know Caprice, I still can't say I fully understand the relationship between these two. I wasn't around when they were inseparable. Even still, it's easy to see how important they are to each other, even with things as fractured as they are.
If there's any chance of things going smoothly, we'll both have to set aside some things. It's as much up to her as it is me.
Yeah, that's a safe bet at this point. I don't know exactly how to take that. The biting sound, how she emphasized it's up to Caprice, too. Sounds familiar. Little I've overheard about Millie trying to avoid Caprice and Caprice's usual, eager self trying to patch things up regardless. Is that what this is about? It's up to Caprice, too. Caprice is trying to patch things up, so...
Are you mad at her? Or?
It's more complicated than that.
It certainly is. Appropriately awkward. If she doesn't want to elaborate on that, then maybe she'll be more open to another angle.
I
Oh,
heard about the marriage thing.
I mean, there's no secrets in between the house shifting.
And figured it'd make for some good...
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that backfired spectacularly. Even if her smile is unwavering, it's hard to miss the annoyance underlying it. Part of me wants to entirely exit the conversation here. I should, really. At the same time, watching the two struggling to navigate around each other has become a lot more painful after becoming emotionally invested.
No, but I mean, maybe I don't fully understand what you're going through, but...
You don't need to understand, Olive. It's not your problem to solve.
She's right. I'm self-aware enough to know I'm overstepping. At the same time, it's frustrating to not be able to try and do what I can for her. Grace. But knowing that, what am I even trying to do here?
I appreciate your kindness. I'm glad Caprice has someone so caring there for her. I'll be fine, though.
Okay. Sorry for trying to butt in.
You were only trying to do good. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do here, okay?
Yeah.
You should probably catch up with your clubmates. Have a nice rest of your day. It was good talking with you, really.
You too. Later.
I feel foolish, like I shouldn't have even approached her. Did I screw up? I feel like I did. My heart sinks at that disaster of a conversation. I'm sure there's been far worse between the two. I can't even imagine what it's like for their families. Well, I'm keeping Caprice and the others waiting. Elan would get scary if I hold things up for too long. We don't want that. Yeah, that was... Oh, that evening. That was a lot. Pizza. Of course we went for pizza. Oh, God. As Elan promised, or perhaps threatened, we've chosen to end the day with one last club outing at the usual pizza place. The first outing in which Caprice isn't eager to make herself the center of attention. Can't say I blame her. Heck, can't deny the feeling the same way right now. Elan, however, is quick to notice and is the first to lift her glass in a toast to our relationship. An act I can only imagine is some sort of revenge for her.
To our love-struck club leader and her new partner.
Busted. Allison's usually the first to shy away from needless teasing, but even she follows Eileen's lead, raising her cup to the air. Wallace seems content to immediately start sipping away at his, though. Fair enough. The drinks only look higher and higher up as Caprice and I shrink into our seats in unison. I feel the red on my face intensify as Wallace finally brings up his mug as well. Yeah. Just capturing this for posterity's sake. It's... The Club Revenge. I dub this The Club Revenge.
To all relationships in the club, old and new, here's hoping Caprice and Olive were even a fraction of how lovey-dovey you two turned out in the end.
Oh, shots fired, Wallace. Shots fired. Oh. That's enough to bring Alice and Eileen's cups down quick. Being the only one left in the air, Wallace gives a shrug as he brings his beer back down to his lips. Caprice and I pull ourselves up, no longer the center of attention at the table. It isn't long before Allison turns back our way, however.
You two are so cute together. I had my hunches pretty early on.
Oh.
Thanks, Allie.
I'm
Oh.
amazed you found someone who could keep up with you.
Hey, what are you implying?
While the rest of the club bites, bants, and bickers, Eileen taps me on my arm, drawing my attention from the rest of the crowd. Oh? She takes a sip of her beer, free of her faux celebratory cheer she was leading just moments ago.
Sorry, couldn't resist. She pulled something similar after Christmas last year, and I've been waiting to turn it around on her. I started to get
Oh,
worried I wouldn't get the chance.
I love that, honestly. That's wholesome. That's wholesome. We love that.
That definitely sounds like a Caprice thing, yeah.
Ugh.
Her face contorts as she recalls that memory.
You've really signed yourself up for a handful.
Yeah.
This one will make it fun, I think.
Eileen brings her mug to her lips again, ending another small drink with a smile.
Something funny?
Just thinking about what Wallace said. It's almost scary how well you're keeping pace with her.
Wonder if Eileen thinks she sounds deep, or if she's just a lightweight and already tipsy. I hope not, she's driving. I'd be shocked if that was the latter, but that's the only explanation that makes sense to me.
Just by how fast you're able to change, I mean. You're almost unrecognizable compared to a few months ago.
She's not wrong.
Allison and I have been together for just over a year now, and I think the extent of my personal growth is don't loathe Caprice anymore.
Hey, that's a significant enough hurdle. You done well.
I mean, I'm still relatively new to the circle, but I'm sure there's more to it than that. I don't feel like I've changed much either.
I wonder.
Her next step is considerably slower, breaking eye contact and staring blankly at nothing particular.
I love you just the way you are,
I-
Eileen.
Aww. Got her. Her quiet musing is interrupted by Allison, smiling sweetly at her girlfriend. The rest of the table's eyes focused on the two of us as well. Eileen is quick to fluster. The victory over Caprice she felt just minutes before falling to the wayside. Yep, got her in return. We love to see the love
How
in the air.
long has everyone been listening to our conversation?
Somewhere around where you called me a handful and tried to scare Ollie away from me.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Only some. For our dramatic flourish.
Spoken like a true writing club member.
Blasphemy!
That's twice tonight I've been dragged onto the center stage and been embarrassed for it. As much as part of me wants to hide away, I cannot but feel thankful for the group of people I've managed to stumble into.
This isn't about Allison and I. Tonight is Caprice and Olive's thing.
Oh, you're trying to, shy away from that, huh?
In that case, how about another toast? To the two happy couples?
Hey. Eileen narrows her eyes in response, which only seems to cause Wallace's smirk to grow larger. Caprice, meanwhile, seems eager to gain back the ground she lost at the start of the night.
I'll drink to that.
Well.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely,
I think it's
yes.
a nice gesture.
Well, okay then, fine. Back to no corner, all Eileen can do is close her eyes with a sigh.
Fine.
And you said you were worrying about not being able to change.
I didn't ask for your commentary.
Yeah. It's rare to have an opportunity to rib Eileen, a narrow window I'm eager not to let pass by.
So, how did they say cheers in Germany again, Eileen?
Haven't you done enough?
Ooh, it's been a while.
Prost.
Prost? Prast?
Pressed.
It was something like that, right?
You four are going to settle for a cheers or nothing at all.
We love this. Roasting Eileen night. Endearingly roasting Eileen. We all suffer together. And so we do. Final raising of our cups, the club closes out the year. Ooh. An aquarium date? When Caprice called me yesterday pitching another date, I was all too eager to accept. After making such a big deal of it during our initial outing, I was surprised to be heading to the aquarium so soon, though. Guess I climbed my way up pretty fast. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
There you are.
Oh. My eyes light out. Oh. Oh, wow. Dressed up. And brought Mom. My eyes land on Caprice waving her arms as she approaches along with her mom, who looks to still be on the clock. Although I guess Mom's here for moral support. And will see us off eventually, but, that's fair. Aw. He's definitely dressed for the occasion. There's more than what I can say about myself. It's cute. I found myself torn between admiring her outfit and wishing she had told me the dress code expectations were going to be higher this time around.
Hey, you look great.
Aw.
You too.
I don't look much different, but thank you.
I didn't do anything different.
Doesn't change what I said.
Fair enough. Our contest of who can embarrass the other more appears to have hit a stalemate.
Nice to see you again, Olive.
Hey,
Hi, you too, Miss Shefton.
Charlie. Hang on, I gotta. Like mother, like daughter. That's amazing. Oh gosh. Oh god. I'm sorry, that just killed me. I'm slain. Yeah. This is like what the third time. It's your context here. Your context here since you're back. Yeah. Miss Shifton. Ollie's still working on calling her Charlie. She insists on Charlie. She insists on Charlie, but Ollie is not quite there yet. Her shoulders slump.
Maybe next time.
She rights herself, sporting a smile and a wink as she does so.
Caprice knows this place better than I do. I'm sure she'll give you the grand tour.
I'm looking forward to it.
And Caprice, keep the bullying to a minimum. Says you. Shouldn't you get back to work? I have a couple minutes left on my break, technically. It's not your date.
Yeah, Mom. Caprice ushers her off, likely directing her away from us.
Go!
Shoo! Shoo!
I'm going. Have fun, you two.
Thanks.
Tell me all about it. I will. Bye! Bye!
Oh. Moms, right. Also Caprice with the pony. Yeah! That's cute. Caprice heaves a sigh as her mom disappears from sight. Even if her continued laughter can be heard for a little longer after the fact.
I was afraid she was gonna stick with us the whole time.
She's just concerned about her kid.
Yeah.
Oh, she's just...
Whoa! Oh god, what's happening? Whoa, Pang! Oh my goodness, hello! Streamer forgot a save game. May I stay here? Absolutely. Forgot a save gem. May you stay here? Oh, goodness gracious. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Raiders. Welcome. Welcome. Oh my goodness. I'm not used to such big outcome here. Welcome. Welcome. How was the stream? How was the stream? You do the raid message, but I'm not because I'm not sub, but raid. Raid. Hello, Drac. Thank you for stopping in to say hello. We are playing Twofold, a really wholesome slice of life game by Studio Elan, and we are currently on a date in an aquarium. And look at her. Look at her. We have just, let's see. So, the quick rundown on this game. We'll be good. We're having a cute aquarium date. This act has been really wholesome so far. So, the basic premise of this game is that Olive is needs a gen ed class in their college in order to essentially scrape by and pass their semester. They've got the choice of writing club or the art club. And so the first act of the game is getting through that last semester, passing their classes. And Act 2 is winter break. And now here we are. Oh my goodness, yeah, I guess I saved the screenshot of that. I need to load that in here because that is, I love that. The expressions in this, the expressions of these sprites are amazing. Like, to give you the impression here, yeah, it's like, this game is full of amazing reaction images. Like here, send this to a friend when you are sharing your hyperfixations with them. And then I have to add this in. Where are we here? Yes. I just love this. Like mom, like daughter. Got a friend that's that exact mood. I gotta just side by side. Like mom, like daughter. I love them so much. I'm just so they've been working through. We are it's just been, gosh, I'm sorry, I can't help but gush about this game. Just so wholesome. We share a laugh. I'm actually glad the evening started this way.
Where do you want to go first?
This way. The penguin area is all done up for the holidays.
Soon you'll be infected. And the penguins. We got the penguins. Earlier on in this path, we had otters. Now we got penguins. All the adorable sea life. We're at level with the water where the penguins dive in one by one and swim about. Looking up above, we can see the enclosure with its icy floor. Welcome to the North Pole! The aquarium staff have decorated it with some fake trees, lit with blinking lights. There's even a red and white striped pole with a sign reading North Pole. That penguin with a 1,000-yard stare. The penguins pay it no mind.
Hey, don't penguins live in the south?
Semantics. Well, I don't have a lurk command, but have a lovely lurk. Absolutely. I do need to put in a lurk command, but thank you for the lurk, Peng, and thank you for the raid. My goodness. Go get food. Go get drink. Go rest and take care. I will look after them in the aquarium. Thank you again so much. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, mostly in Antarctica.
Then it's in the wrong pole.
It's just for fun. Sometimes taking creative liberties is okay.
Yeah, just some penguins. That's what the yeah. We're gonna have a nice aquarium date. That's what the penguin's staring at here. The penguin's staring at the, like, wait, how do we get in the North Pole? Oh, there's the I just noticed the one you were referring to, Twin. It's in the water. Right there in the bottom left of the screen. Just 1,000-yard stare.
Aren't they cool?
They're cute, yeah.
They're suffering.
Takes one to know one.
Oh. When she says this, she sneaks a kiss. Oh.
Hey, wait a second.
I was setting you up for that with cool. You only have yourself to blame for changing the word.
Right, of course. My mistake.
Got him there. I'm consistently amazed by her ability to so easily get the upper hand in every single one of our conversations.
Now, speaking of cute ollies, let's go to the otters.
Oh, we're going back to the otters. Let's go.
You can't just say things like that.
I just did. You gotta stop leaving yourself so open.
There's our drink aqua. Oh! Oh, the otters have a naughty and nice list this time. Okay. Tag yourself. Tag yourself. We have Ollie. Unlike the penguins, which were lively out at this time, the otters are all snoozing.
Oh well, they're cute like this too.
Tag yourself, I'm Calcifer. Me and the gang just vibing.
Takes one to know.
You can't use the same line.
Watch me.
Can two?
You're not even trying.
The outer enclosure is less decorated, mostly aligned with some white string lights, setting a subtle yet distinctly holiday mood.
I wonder which one is Ollie. It's so hard to tell them apart when they're like this.
Found him.
Whoa, really?
It's barely visible due to the dim lighting, but I point directly ahead to my reflection.
Very funny.
Ooh! He turns to give me a pout, and I take the chance to return the kiss she gave me earlier. It's sudden enough that I managed to catch myself off guard just as much as her.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you, though.
Come on, let's walk around some more.
After you.
It was a good shot. The balls swim with fish of all shapes and sizes and colors. They flitter about temporary decorations set on the floor of their tanks, making a vision of their own sort of Christmas lights.
I was starting to wonder if you forgot that an aquarium has fish in it.
You're gonna make fun of me? Here? In my element?
I would never.
On her home turf? She reaches for my hand, and I freely offer it.
I love the mammals, but this was my favorite fish tank growing up. It always felt more colorful than the rest.
I'm sure the bed of pink pebbles had nothing to do with that.
Oh?
Probably. But look at the actual fish!
She points to various vibrantly colored creatures with her free hand as they pass us by, dropping random facts on the various species when she has one available, which is more often than not. Her fascination with them doesn't end, and I find it easier and easier to borrow some of her excitement and make it my own. So long as it's with her, I could definitely see myself visiting again and again.
Ah, the food here always makes me so nostalgic.
Welcome to the Cafe of the Deep. That's as good a reason as any, I guess. Well, it's better than just grabbing something from a vending machine. It feels somehow more touristy than anything we've done yet so far. She has mac and cheese, and I have some chicken tendies. Would have felt weird ordering the fish sticks.
The menu really hasn't changed since I was a kid.
And you're not sick of it?
Sometimes it's hard to be sick of
It's
that,
part of the experience.
right? She stops eating for a moment, clearly thinking something over.
You're fine with this, right?
Of course. I was told to expect the grand tour from you tonight, remember? Wouldn't want to miss out on a crucial part of the experience.
The Cafe from the Deep. Cafe from the Deep. Cafe of the Deep. It's an important stop. Mood seems to mellow, but her smile doesn't.
I'm super happy we came here tonight. Thanks for agreeing on such short notice.
There's no way I'd say no. After all, we would have missed the North Pole penguins.
The legendary North Pole penguins.
Yeah.
She waves me off, and we both share a small laugh before returning to our food.
I'm surprised we got to the aquarium so fast, though, given how eager you were to dismiss it at the cafe. I must have done something really impressive.
Well, you know.
She uses bites of macaroni to buy herself some time before answering.
The next few days will be pretty busy. I've got some last-second gift planning to deal with. You're gonna be having dinner with your mom, then there's the big Christmas thing itself. I figured, you know, making the last little bit of time we have together alone special was worth skipping a few steps.
Right? I sort of allowed myself to forget I wouldn't have a lot of free time the rest of this week, but she's absolutely right.
I mean, you say this is alone time, but I'm willing to bet your mom has been in earshot of us all evening.
Oh.
For your sake, I hope not. With that thing at the otter exhibit you tried to pull.
Like you're one to talk. Oh, right. You reminded me, actually.
It's been on my mind to ask for a few days, but it keeps getting pushed to the background with other goings-on.
I know you're gonna be busy, so don't feel pressure. But you're free to come visit Mom and I for our makeup Christmas if you want. I figured fair's fair, with me joining yours and all.
Oh, we didn't get this in Millie's path. I hope we get this here. Caprice's face was already shining bright, but now she's practically blinding.
I don't care how much stuff I have to move around, I'll definitely make sure to drop by.
Yes, excellent.
Glad to hear it. Now that everything's settled, we should get back to the tour soon.
Oh, right.
After we finish our dinners, we decide to walk around the aquarium a little bit more. We walk together under the twinkling lights, enjoying the cool evening, taking in the swimming sights again. We stayed later than we'd planned before we even realized it. Hey, the company's good. The company is good. And yeah, sometimes that makes all the difference. The last few days before the holiday rush effortlessly. Oh, the last few days before the holiday rush effortlessly sneak up on me. I sit on my couch with a couple of gifts, putting off wrapping, which is thankfully the extent of my worries for today. There's my Christmas with Mom coming up, not to mention the big family meetup at the Clarks. It'll be a while before life stops feeling busy, so I'm making a deliberate attempt to savor the quiet, even with yesterday's date still dancing on my mind. This feels particularly prescient with the, actual holiday coming up. To be fair with Millie, she saw Olive's mom first. And yeah, true. She did. We did, yeah. On Millie's path, we did have the getting together with Millie, August, and Olive when the big grade reveal. The silence doesn't last long, however, as my phone begins buzzing on the table. I pick it up, expecting to see Caprice's name staring back at me. Instead, Eileen. That's probably the last person I would have expected. I'm filled with equal parts worry and curiosity as I accept the call.
Hello?
Hey, dumb question. Do you know when Caprice is heading home for Christmas?
Oh.
What? We're heading out the day of, first thing in the morning. Why?
There's a small pause, but only a small one.
I just need to get some paperwork to her and wanted to catch her before... Wait, we?
Yeah.
Oh, I was invited over by your mom, so I'll be joining them this year.
Surprise.
Christmas with the parents, huh? My condolences.
I can practically see the sneer on her face.
Things are tense, but they seem like nice folks. I'm not too worried. About them, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine. Just call it a personal bias. I am more than glad to be spending Christmas here this year.
You've been there before?
Yeah? What are your holiday plans?
After thinking back to my initial impressions of her, it's surprising how easy making small talk with her is now.
Just as I said, a nice, quiet year. Probably gonna spend a few hours on Christmas Eve with Allison's old roommate, and my sister's coming down for a day on Christmas proper.
Ah.
Doesn't sound like my definition of quiet.
I mean, hey, quiet's quiet when it's with the people you're comfortable with.
You should have been here last year. This'll be absolute bliss in comparison.
I can almost hear something resembling joy in her voice. Vaguely. If I really try to listen for it. We can see the smile on her face.
Besides, I don't think you get to criticize my idea of what quiet is when you're spending the holidays in a hornet's nest.
I finished tapping the top of my first gift, grabbing the spool of ribbon to the side. We're not sucked at this part of the process. Oh, same.
You think it'll be that bad, huh?
I'm choosing to be optimistic, against my better judgment.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah?
I think it'll be a disaster.
That doesn't sound like my definition of optimism either.
But Caprice is stubborn. If she wants it to work out, she'll brute force it into happening if she has to.
She sure will.
Can't argue with that.
You least of all.
Yeah.
I placed the box down on the table after spinning it a bit, checking for imperfections. The bow looks passable, which is a step up from my usual attempts. As good as I could hope to make it, in any case.
Anyway, thanks for the info. I'm gonna drop for now. Enjoy the rest of your holidays.
Yeah, you too. Say hi to Allison for me.
Will do.
Hey, I wait patiently for the click signifying the end of the call, but it never comes. I lift the phone from my ear to make sure it's acting okay, only for Eileen to continue as I'm staring at the screen.
Olive.
Huh? Yeah?
Let me know how it goes. Christmas at their place, I mean.
You worried about her?
Never mind. See you.
Wait. I'll keep you up to date as best I can. Promise.
Thanks.
She cares. They clash, but she cares. It arrived a bit late, but the long-awaited click finally comes, and Eileen is gone, leaving me alone with a box that looks sadder and sadder the more I look at it. ever overthinking. A couple of days later. Okay, we're at home, getting Christmas with Mom. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. We're definitely going to end on this scene and save Christmas and the hang-ups that come from it next time. Would the otter and the gator form an unlikely friendship? Yeah, honestly. From one sort of prickly cactus to another, they really got on quite well. Mom reaches over to light some candles. They add to the ambience of the cheap string lights she gifted me when I first moved out, now a yearly staple. Besides that, there's no tree or decorations to speak of, but the snowfall outside and the quiet of the room suits us just fine. The room is filled with the smell of oven roast as I finish mashing potatoes. Today isn't Christmas, but it's the closest thing we have together. I join her in the living room. She's sitting on my old sofa, staring distantly out the window.
Your place looks lovely. It isn't much.
We don't need much. We've got plenty here.
Couldn't ask for more.
Oh,
I remember at the old place we'd put up little signs to make sure Santa found his way even without a chimney.
we're so close to the stream reaching the 3-hour mark. We really are. But don't worry, we will get there. Christmas was never huge with us after we moved. I was always pretty content with the gifts Santa brought, even if it was Mom who forced me to make a list every year.
It was so cute how worried you were that he would forget to bring me a present.
But he always did.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, after the time he did slip up and you gave me half of yours, I made sure he never forgot again.
God, they really are precious. They really are precious.
My little Ollie was always the sweetest little kid. Too nice for their own good.
Her little Ollie. I've been hearing that name a lot more as of late, huh?
Don't say it like it's a bad thing. You were the one who taught me, after all.
I won't take all the blame. When you were growing up, do you know how worried I was that you never had a rebellious phase?
Then high school happened.
Oh no. We never did get the Ollie high school lore.
Skipping class and hiding out in the Bell House once in a blue moon hardly counts. Every kid causes trouble, but you were a good kid. You still are.
Thanks. You're a good mom, too.
She smiles in her sweet way and beckons me to join her on the couch. Oh.
So, how are things going with Caprice?
Oh. Give her the lore. Give her the tea. She reaches into a bowl nearby and unwraps a small candy that she pops into her mouth.
The date at the aquarium was really nice.
High school was just their depressive era. Yeah, honestly.
I'm so happy to hear that. I had to resist texting you all evening.
You didn't have to.
I would have kept asking every second how it was going. It's better I didn't.
I can't help but chuckle to myself, thinking back to how that date started with Charlie, who was probably lurking in the background as much as she was able to, the whole time following us.
What is it?
Caprice's mom was the same way. Caprice basically had to pry her off of us at the start.
Oh, that's right. She works there.
Yep. Caprice gets discounts because of it.
You should bring them to the diner sometime.
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe.
Olive. There are better places to eat, and the last place I want to spend what precious little free time I have is at work. Although that is a mood. Weird how things change between high school and college.
Aw. Are you embarrassed your mom might serve you?
No, it's not that.
Still, if I tell Mom as much, I feel like it'd put her down. She loves that place. Not that I don't, but...
Well, I'd like to see Caprice again soon. Her mother, too.
Oh, right. About that.
You might be
I'm
seeing
sorry.
her, again,
I should have asked you first, but...
very, very soon. I pull up my phone and give it a quick glance. Caprice said she was on her way a bit ago. I've been anxiously checking for updates every few minutes regardless.
You didn't! Really?
I'm relieved to see she doesn't mind. To the contrary, she's excited.
I might have.
She's glowing. Boom, yeah. As if on cue, I hear the buzz of my apartment's doorbell. I should have expected she'd skip the text and just come right up instead.
That's probably her. I'll get it.
Mom giggles sweetly as she heads back into the kitchen to start on the next bit of dinner prep.
You sure sound enthusiastic today.
Can't help it. As if she isn't. I spare her the rebuttal as I quickly rush to open the door.
Ollie, Merry Christmas. I brought pie.
Heck yeah. A box is shoved in my face.
Oh, you didn't have to.
Sure I did. It's chocolate.
Ooh. Alright. Is your first time actually at our place? He steps past me and begins looking around my apartment. She quickly notices my mom and rushes over to her.
Ah, hi, Miss Penn. It's been a while. Merry Christmas.
Oh, so she could use polite greetings.
It sure has. Merry almost Christmas to you too, Caprice.
I can't believe Olive has been keeping us apart. Is it me, Ollie?
Caprice gazes toward me with a faux heartbroken stare. I give her a raised eyebrow, but Mom pipes in immediately, looking a bit worried.
Oh, darling, I've just been working like a dog. Ollie's been just head over heels for you.
Oh, whoa. Joking? I was just joking.
Never underestimate the mom energy. Bright pink flushes her face immediately. I laugh a little to myself. Even without playing along with her bit, it looks like Mom is able to keep up with Caprice in her own way.
I know, dear. I'm teasing you. You just relax and the two of us will finish cooking up dinner here.
And sit here bored? No way. Let me help out with something. You still owe me a lesson, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's right. That didn't quite work out the first time, but...
I don't work holidays.
Oh, Ollie, it'll be fun. We could use the help.
But honestly, this would be good.
At least someone here trusts me.
Hey. Here, you try.
Cooking lessons.
That's it? Come on, this is easy stuff.
Yeah. So she says as she starts filling our dinner with holes. Consistently missing her mark with the meat thermometer. It's starting to look more like Swiss cheese at this point.
You can't just stick the thermometer
Uh-oh.
anywhere. Look, you have to measure a specific spot.
I point to the center of the roast for her to measure, only for her to jab the needle in with such speed and power that it forces me to pull back my hand instinctively in terror. Silly laughs, the brutal stabbing off with a small giggle.
It's good to see you two having fun together.
Please don't annihilate the roast. Mom smiles as she carries a tray toward the table.
Look, is it ready?
She blocks my field of view with the meat thermometer without warning.
Yes, that looks fine.
Time to eat.
Dinner comes and goes, the relative quiet of the apartment replaced with energy and excitement, as Caprice and Mom catch up as if they haven't seen each other for 15 years. We eventually make our way back to the living room for a small gift exchange, nibbling on bits of pie in between.
Caprice helped me with your gift. It isn't much, but I hope you like it.
Oh, Caprice practically bounces up and down in excitement as Mom carefully unwraps her gift.
Anything from you is bound to be wonderful. Doubly so if Caprice was involved.
He pulls from my carefully wrapped package a simple watering can littered with paint, leaving almost none of the metal beneath visible.
Your flower pot gave me the idea. When I told Caprice about it, she wanted to help. So we split it up and painted different parts of it.
Yeah, early on in Ollie's art club journey, their mom really got into the spirit of the art club and made herself a really cute and decorated flower pot for some plants of theirs. So, this is the follow-up gift to that.
Oh, you too.
Mom softens visibly, the way she does whenever she tries not to cry.
I know spring is a ways off, but I hope it'll come in handy.
Well...
Of course I love it. Thank you. Both of you.
He pulls the two of us into a warm embrace. I feel Caprice hug back tightly, too, and Mom plants a kiss on top of my head. After we settle back down, Caprice leans a bit against me, content to watch.
Now, mine isn't as extravagant.
Oh? Reaching behind herself, she pulls out an envelope. What's
No,
this?
you didn't have to do anything.
Hmm? I open up to find a cute little Christmas card. And cash! Not a small amount, either.
This is...
4 semesters worth.
Oh my goodness! I grit my teeth to try and hold myself together once my brain catches up and realize what's happening. What she's giving me. Everything I've done in my adult life was for the contents of this envelope. Working as much as possible, pursuing a degree I don't feel anything for. All to help support the woman who did everything and more for me. And here's the result of my efforts, somehow back in my own hands.
Mom, I can't.
It's yours, Ollie. This is all yours.
I don't really know what to say. I've been sending money to Mom all this time, thinking she would need it more than me. Thinking I can get by just fine. My mom's coarse, dry hands wrap around mine, gently pushing the envelope that I'd subconsciously been handling back to her, toward me.
I want you to take care of yourself. I had no other way to convince you that I'm doing okay. That it's time for you to focus on your own future.
Yeah.
Use it however you want. Take a year off classes, take a year off work. Find something you really enjoy doing. I'm so proud of you. Please stop holding yourself back for my sake. I'm your mom. You're supposed to let me support you, okay?
Oh. I can't say anything. Glancing over to Caprice at my side, she takes her hands and places them on mine instead.
And hey, you have Caprice now.
Oh.
You can even spend money on her. The two of you being happy together is as good a gift as any.
Caprice blushes a bit, but she squeezes my hands all the same, letting me know she's here for me.
We'll always have each other. But I need you to start living for yourself too. Okay, Ollie?
It takes me one more minute to process.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this might push that over the edge for me too. This is really sweet. Oh! And with that, the dam bursts open as I bring my free hand up to bury my eyes. The stress of passing this last semester, following a business degree just to help her as best as I'm able. She's said things similar to this before, but as she and Caprice wrap me up in a comforting hug, the first time I've really been able to understand what she's been saying. Let's just savor this for a moment.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
You take care of each other. Okay?
We will! I promise.
Oh. What are we gonna do now? A couple days later. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Thanks for the ride.
Uh-oh, it is Christmas time. Yep. Everything is wholesome now until the drama starts anew. And this is our time to, yeah. Which, also, if you're new to this game, I also want to point out some of the cute touches in the UI here. One thing, you can rename your save pages here. As you can see by, they're normally just numbered, but you can just rename them, as I have done here for the art club route for Caprice, and for writing club, Millie. Also, these save icons, they react when you hover over them. We have Millie's icon here. And just, let's smile. The prologue gets Ollie. Gets a little pensive eyebrow waggle. And Caprice glows because that's just Caprice. But oh goodness, that was an emotional note to sign off on. But my goodness, yeah. For those of you who swung by from Peng's stream, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of wholesome. That got really heartwarming in a hurry there. Got really, really heartwarming in a hurry. Thank you for dropping in, and hope you enjoyed your time here briefly. Next stream is all about trauma and drama. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Very much getting onto the trauma and drama bandwagon here. And the question is, we got a much bigger crowd than I was expecting, so we need to see who's on my to-do list to raid into. Let's see here. Bye again, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thinking here. Oh no, we could go raid Jake. Playing, Jake is still getting started. Maybe we'll wait for a minute there. Hurry up, Jake, what are you doing? It's either that or, got Yusei playing, Mario RPG. You know what? I think we'll do that. We'll go leave you off with a, a lovely dragon fighting Culex in, Super Mario RPG.